It's a bung rattler, huh? Who put who put that down? Oh, ATF Media. All right, I think we're live. Oh, I gotta bring up chat. Sam Retro, what's up? ATF Media. Steve Benningfield, how's it going? Give me just a second. My brain's running slow. Okay, there we go. All right, well, welcome to the stream. Good morning, Grace, wherever you are. Back out there on the studio struggle session grind. I better turn my camera on. Hope everybody's having a beautiful Friday. No cam? Yeah, I forgot. For a second. All right, well, I don't even know where to begin. We had a great video. Actually, I don't know why I said that, because there's almost nothing to say. Jedi Joy made it to Manhattan. I don't know. People are saying she's been drinking. She made a very interesting video last night. I don't know if it actually stayed up or not, but it was really funny, and it was it was really strange, but I really liked it. It was just her sitting on the ground talking, and then she kept pulling her leg up over her head. It was pretty kino. VP. Wow, man, VP. I don't know how. We've seen some real yappers. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody on the level of Vegan Patriot recently. It's unbelievable how long it goes for. It's just her. It's epic. Just epic yapping. And then I recorded for this channel, if you're actually interested in my content, I recorded new taste test videos. I got some of those weird healthy sodas, weed chocolate chip cookie, new Gordon Ramsay review. I've started reviewing the WWE Evolve on Tubi, and then regular movie reviews. I did some as well, including a real interesting Lifetime movie that I saw not too long ago. But anyway, I think that's it. I think that's all the news. Let me check and make sure I didn't forget anything. I did find that video is still up, by the way. It's called Gorgeous Manhattan Evening on Healthy Family Force, 49 seconds. I found this account. It's got this video has 3.9 million views, so it's not really Boyd, but maybe on a body cam. But a guy documented through his ring cam and through his own camera, like, all of his issues with his wife. And it looks like that might be some interesting content. I also found, I don't know if you've ever heard of this person before, Dee's Dark Adventures. She does like haunted place IRLs. I thought that might be interesting. Boyd Watch tomorrow, and it's gonna be very difficult to get onto this Boyd Watch. I'm just gonna say that up front. This week's lineup is, I'm having to still cut people off of it. It's very upsetting. $25 and free. Well, that's what I need, man. I'm down to the last 2 nugs of this Gasberry. It's getting dark out here, guys. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's all the news I have. By far yesterday, which I don't care. This is purely informational. But I think prime time has like completely slid off for most people. By far, like it's the lowest, not to DSP it, but definitely the lowest like view stream I've had in a while. But we're not giving up. We're still gonna push forward with it. Oh no, no man, Vinny, holy shit, man. Vinny filmed himself on a filmed an entire road trip with his parents, and when he got into a fight with his mom, she was saying, like, trying to argue with him a little bit, you know, and he goes, this is going on Mark Fusion's channel. Anyway, here we go. CWA Championship Wrestling out of Memphis, November 14th, 1987. What a year. Which, by the way, we've got maybe one more week of this, 2 tops, and we're done with CWA 1987. So that's pretty crazy. Anyway, here we go. Let's go take it down to, let's join In Progress with Lance Russell and Dave Brown.
Side son of a gun. We got a lot of news and a lot of wrestling lined up today, David.
I tell you.
Yeah, we indeed have a studio full coming up here today. We've got a 6-man tag team match. We've got an 8-man tag team match. Just some of the folks you'll be looking at. The Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Rock and Roll RPMs will be here. Superstar Bill Dundee, the Nasty Boys, Raging Bull Manny Fernandez, Jerry the King Lawler, Jimmy Jack Funk, more coming up. You mean all of that today? That's not even all of them.
Why did they say Jimmy Jack Funk last?
I tell you what, that's not even all of it. Good night. I know we got 2 new champions that we'll be talking to today. I guess we better get going because we're going to get all that in. We're going to have to get it all. Be back in just one moment.
Uncle Tim posted a new video yesterday detailing his battles with depression. We might watch that sometime.
About ready to go with our opening bout in here. It'll be interesting, Dave. On one side of the ring, we're going to be seeing 2 singles champions together. The Southern Tag Champ and the brand new Mid-America Heavyweight Champion. We're talking about Bobby Jaggers and Jimmy Jack Funk. And we're ready for the introduction. David? All right, this match is going to be 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing
Who's Fontana?
Austin, Texas,
John Paul, right? But who's Fontana?
Out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, John Paul. They have a total weight of 451. Going against him across the way, out of Amarillo, Texas, Jimmy Jack Funk and his partner out of Kansas City, Kansas, the Hangman, Bobby Jaggers. This match is 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee. Jimmy Jack Funk has got that cowbell on the end of that Hangman's noose, and bell time, we're ready to go as John Paul starts it out with the Hangman. Jaggers making the tag, and Jimmy Jack Funk in there. Oh, John Paul round behind, wrapping up that left arm. Welcome to a real wrestling match, you're saying right now.
Also, just as an aside, I don't think we've ever seen someone who sleeps as close to a television as Vinny Slugga. He sleeps like directly next to the television. He posted a sleep video yesterday.
Jack Funk. There's a little hair pulling by Funk. A lot of hair pulling. John Paul goes by, kneed in the back by Bobby Jaggers. Good-sized team, this Funk and Bobby Jaggers. Dave, both of these guys, if you look at them, they are large. Here comes Jaggers.
They are large.
On John Paul. John, who has been looking real good recently. Fakes a big elbow from Bobby Jaggers.
Oh, you know what else? I've actually been really looking on like unironically, but not because I think it's going to be good, but anytime people like, it's always a mix though. I never know if it's actually going to be like legitimately bad or if it's just going to be people that are mad about the casting or whatever. But that new Snow White is up on Disney Plus. I can't wait to review that. I'm like really looking forward to it. I hope it's as bad as everybody says it is. I like terrible movies.
John Paul battling. He came out of there with a right hand. Jimmy Jack Funk has him up in the air, suplexes him. John needs to whip over there to his partner.
Look at Fontana. Looks like Ian Rotten.
Let him get in there.
Like young Ian Rotten.
Tag is made on the other side of the ring. The Hangman, Bobby Jaggers back in. Jaggers a rugged individual. He was going for a reverse neck breaker. Yeah, couldn't make it. He couldn't get it, no. He ends up kind of bulldogging John Paul down to the mat and then dropped down with the upper arm.
I heard Paro's coming back to Rejects. OPC said it was in negotiations.
This is our first look at Ricky Fontana.
Ricky Fontana. Sounds like a Will Ferrell character.
Ricky's first entrance into the ring is one he will remember but not cherish. On the shoulder, big Jimmy Jack drives that shoulder into his knee. And he's got Ricky Fontana down there on the mat.
Hey, Daninsky, what's up, man?
Right on his face as he comes up. Tag again to the Hangman, and Bobby Jaggers is coming into the ring. it has been mostly Jaggers and Funk. Since the opening bell.
Fur face enthusiast. That was such a wacky ass. Who came up with that?
Yeah, it stands right now. It looks like it's all over but the 1, 2, 3. Because Jaggers
Hey, it's me. Do you think that a lot of people, when they saw that fur face video, like, how much of information was actually out there about Furface? Like, I don't ever remember hearing about Furface. I bet for some of the people that were there live, it was like it probably felt like a false memory for a long time until they saw that it was like actually real.
Been totally dominant in this match. We indicated 2 singles champions as a double team on Ricky Fontana. Southern Tag Champ is Jaggers, and the Mid-America Champ is Jimmy Jack Funk.
That's interesting.
Fontana, I don't believe it. He's lifting us.
Delay power slam? What would you call that?
Fontana weighs over 200. Not an easy task there. 3 minutes, 8 seconds the time.
So the favorite team of Jaggers and Jimmy Jack Funk came through, and they defeated John Paul and his part.
Speaking of movies with not great reputations, I also checked out Morbius, which I don't normally watch superhero movies, but I've heard is pretty bad. Morbius and the new Craven movie.
Ricky Fontana. We're going to get Jimmy Jack Funk over here. I don't know.
Oh, it was like to completely protect his identity. That makes sense.
I'm the toughest man in the sport of wrestling today. I took that little bleach blonde sissy and I taught him a lesson he won't forget. Isn't that right?
Let me clarify and say that I'm sure you're talking about Jeff Jarrett.
Boy, that one lady in the crowd's pissed.
Went in and took Jeff Jarrett's Mid-America title away, but he gave you quite a scrap, and I'll tell you enough so that they have rescheduled.
Nobody ever gave me a script. He's a...
I love how Memphis brings this guy in. He's not really, I mean, he's okay, but like, whatever. They bring him in, and because he was on WWF TV, like, he immediately gets into he gets a win over Jarrett and a title. Not the title, I don't think, though.
And that's the biggest difference of all. I'll tell you what, he wants a rematch.
That's right.
Well, you're going to get another lesson here.
Yeah, but with 2 referees.
I saw that, Stephen David.
200 referees.
Look, can we be honest? Is there any chance, I don't care who they get, I don't care how they do it, is there any chance of this movie being any good? Like, I don't think there is. I think you could get the best writers in the world, you could get the best talent, bring all the people back, and I just don't think it's going to be funny. Like, I just don't.
Anyone touch me, because I'm the toughest man who ever walked in this place before. You understand?
No, he's the one that put the noose on Jimmy Jack Funk, Daninsky.
Well, you got a
He's the
rematch coming
hanger
up. 2
versus
referees,
hangee.
And that may have a distinct.
He's gonna learn to regret hearing the name Jimmy Jack Funk.
Okay, you hear it. Jimmy Jack Funk, the new Mid-America champion. He did take the title away from Jeff Jarrett, and is that...
Yeah, it's not, for me, it's not even like a commentary on anybody's talent or whatever, but it's like trying to recreate that, especially after all these years. And let's be real, how old's Mel Brooks now? 175? Like, I just don't think it's going to work.
New champion. We're going to take time out. Be back in just a moment.
Who's the one wrestler that you think smashed Ric Flair's cheeks? Gosh, man. Look, if I had to come up with an answer, I think I would say Arn Anderson, because they were so close. Like, maybe one night after slamming some kamikazes, Rick was like, "Hey, Arn, what do you say?" And and Arn was like, "All right, Rick," in that Arn Anderson just standard voice. Do you think he wooed?
Evansville Coliseum, Wednesday night. What a night of action. A little bit, I'll be giving you the entire card, but let me tell you one of the matches you're going to enjoy. AWA Southern Heavyweight.
Who really clapped his cheeks, though, was Hurd. That's who really got him. Remember when they were going to make him into Spartacus?
Title will be on the line when the champion, the Hangman Bobby Jaggers, goes against
I'm not
the
sure,
guy that held
Daninsky.
the title longer than anybody, Jerry the King Lawler.
Well, it's like I told you before, Lance, Jerry the King Lawler has not held the title longer than anybody because I've never been beat for this title. On different occasions, Lawler's been beat by quite a few men. Well, Lawler, when you come to Evansville, Daddy, come loaded for bear.
Daniel
I'm not
Tosh.
gonna run from you. I'm gonna come right straight across the ring. I might slap
Man,
you
look at that
across the face to
forehead.
get your
Man.
attention, but then I'm going to give you a wrestling lesson, Daddy.
Does it say?
And
It
when
almost
it's
looks like
all
it
done
says a
and clear in
word.
Evansville, the people in Evansville are
Payless,
gonna see
like the shoe
why
store?
You're a legend and why I'm the future.
Well, that's exactly what the
You don't
old
like
thing
that
is
belt?
about, and we'll be
ATF
finding
Media?
out
I don't
when
think
it
it's
takes place
great,
in
but I think it
Evansville
looks
on
decent.
Wednesday. Ooh, what
Oh,
a
here we
final
go.
match coming up. Listen, as you look a little later on,
Oh,
you are
hell
going to
yeah.
find Bill Dundee will be picking up a brand new partner for this match, and not the littlest guy in the world. Listen to this, 404 pounds,
It ain't
Big
gonna help,
Bubba.
lads. It ain't gonna help for all those chicken kids in Evansville as long as they keep trusting on Bill Dundee for their hero. There ain't gonna be no Big Bubba or Big Buddha. There's gonna be
Big
nothing
Buddha?
but Diaz, and Manny and I are gonna eat him, and you and the people are gonna be in the middle.
Devin
and
has
we'll
one of
have
those
you for
heads.
tacos.
Are you talking about Hannibal?
Mr. Microphone, Ignorantville, USA.
Are you talking about Hannibal?
People, I'm talking about Hoop Hysteria, Indiana. And I promise you one
I
thing,
like some of them.
when
Some of them are
Jackson
too
comes out,
small.
you will realize Bill Dundee, you
Not to
can
be
have
a
King
not to be a
Kong,
size
because you know what's faster than a speeding bullet,
fan,
and
size
more
rest
powerful than a locomotive.
belt
The
size
Mexican
fan.
Connection coming at you straight ahead and never gonna go down because we are bad.
Going to be a scrap. You
It's
want to
me,
make your plans to
Hannibal.
be out there and see all of that action.
I clapped Ric Flair's cheeks.
Yeah, I recognize it.
Oh, he's still coming out to
During the past
that
week,
song.
did in fact
Oh no, Devon Dudley. Yeah, I agree.
turn to the bad.
He's
That is to
carved up
say,
good,
he
yeah.
ended up losing the belt. Talking about Jeff Jarrett.
I just like doing the Hannibal voice.
Can't change the fact. The fact
Abdullah,
is,
he stabbed me with a fork. He gave me
Well, Lance, you're
hepatitis.
exactly right. Jimmy Jack is the new holder of the Mid-America belt, and it's no secret to you.
My all-time favorite belts, though, are the Winged Eagle and the old school, like Randy Savage Intercontinental title. Those are like my two favorite belts. But I also really like what was the other? There was one other belt that I really liked. The big gold, obviously. I'm not a fan. Everybody likes the belt that Hogan had before the Winged Eagle. I don't care for that one, the old belt. I thought it looked like junk.
And it's no secret.
I love the like OG NWA title too, even though it's kind of it looks like a tombstone kind of.
The fans, that was my first singles title, and I felt like I worked long and hard to get
That's
that.
J.E.
That's
J.E.
Like if I have to lose it in a match
double
like this,
F.
well,
J.A. double
if anybody was there and watched that
E-double-T.
match, if there would have been two referees, I believe the tide might have turned.
I punched
I'm not saying I
Lanny
would beat him,
Poffo.
but I believe I had a lot better chance. The referee wasn't there. I had him down. I felt like for more than
You
a
know
3
what?
count.
Why not? Why not let him win it?
That's how the tables go. But this week,
Have him beat somebody like that the crowd loves clean, and let him go out as like the top heel.
And I believe I can get that belt back, man.
Well, the title will be back on the line. You'll get your return bout, but there will be two referees, and that'll be interesting.
Thank
It
you,
certainly
Lance.
should be a fair opportunity in there.
I started watching that WWE Evolve on Tubi, which, by the way, the commercials are ridiculous. WWE has their own commercials, and then Tubi puts theirs in. So it's like you sit through a 60-second ad for a Cody Rhodes t-shirt, and then you get the Tubi ads. So, but the show actually wasn't that bad, man. There was this chick on there, Kendall Gray. Holy cow. MMA. Oh,
Jeff Jarrett, and he is a long way from being out of this business. That's just because he lost
Total
one
bitch.
particular match in there. We told you a little while
Perfect.
back Jeff had been picked for a particular poster, and we've got
they got like a wild guy there too. He was kind of like Monty Brown a little bit. Keanu Carver. He seemed pretty interesting.
some information on it right now. We had a lot of people asking about it. Take a look at this.
1976 WC. I hear that one brought up a lot, but I can't. Oh, here we go, guys. The poster.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw him. I think he was on that first episode in like the big tag match.
Now that's a poster.
To order your Jeff Jarrett poster, call
He looks like a male prostitute hanging out by a street light. Does AEW sell these or no? That seems like a natural moneymaker.
To Jarrett poster.
Extremely gay.
Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08034. Allowed 2 weeks for delivery.
Doug Locke got like 6 of those at his place.
We're going to be taking a look now at the King in action.
Extremely gay. Be there. Lance Russell selling that. Great poster, folks. Whale of a deal. Extremely gay. Order now. Oh, the Blue Knight. I'm so hyped.
234 pounds out of Memphis, Tennessee. The King, Jerry Lawler. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. The referee is going to be Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, we don't know a whole lot about the Blue Knight. As a matter of fact, let's make it honest and say nothing.
Yeah, Blue Knight got to get this.
So he starts right off. He's going to.
I know he's in trouble now.
Shirtless Dave Brown, absolutely.
He wants to start that
extremely straight
That's not exactly
Dave
the
Brown.
Kind of action you ought to be
well, I guess he's not when it comes to like alcohol.
He boomed him with that right hand. Lawler.
Boy, this guy Blue Knight is.
The Blue Knight. This
Yeah,
could
get
be
it out of here.
I hope we got a stand
That
by.
needed to come to an end. That guy didn't know what was going on.
Take very long.
Who's under the Blue Knight
29
mask?
seconds, and there's a lesson here. When you walk into the ring against the King,
You're taking a hit
don't
now?
hit him in the face
Ganglabash,
with
that's a
right
great name.
fist. 29 seconds.
Ganglabash.
Referee Jerry
That
Calhoun
passes the Jim
and
Cornette name test.
Lawler said, hey,
Like for the WWE World Championship, John Cena versus Ganglabash.
Here you got the 1, 2, 3, and the Blue Knight.
I thought it was Bob. I was like, is that Bobby Eaton? Then I saw him wrestle, and I was like, nope.
Championship wrestling was not the most impressive one in the world. As David said, I think he did the wrong thing.
Oh my gosh, like a 10-second match.
With a big right hand, and that was not the
You
way
know
to
what?
start the match, partner.
Lawler is actually pretty generous in these squash matches, but I think he might have been willing to work with that guy. But when they got out there, like I think that guy botched like everything, and Lawler just wanted the match over.
Out right now, Bad Company, Paul Diamond.
Up, former drug addict Paul Diamond.
You know, we're talking to a lot of people,
And Hawaiian Pat Tanaka, not
our actions last week.
anything other than Hawaiian.
They're talking about your falling out with a commission and all. And
Exactly right now. If we recall,
Elderly autistic man. God, man. So much
Dundee and Lawler so bad they couldn't wait till the
invaluable
guys won.
shit
Once we
in
got
that
into
guy's head,
we
man.
couldn't beg them to tag in, first of all.
Wish I could sneak in the night and open him up and then take his brain out and
Finally,
replace
when
it
we
with
got a
cotton
chance,
and then
Fergie
extract
pulled out
all
a
the
cage,
data
and what
and then
happened?
switch it
Knocks
back.
out my partner. And then Prince, that lowlife, right? He blames us for losing. Now, Prince, I know we had a good thing going, and when the commission first came up, it sounded like a great idea. But as things wore on,
The commission.
things started to go down. He did nothing about it. Prince, let's face it, you're just a
Pat
lowlife. You
Tanaka
never
was
did
born in the
anything for us.
Philippines.
You
Well,
know the big promises he
stop
made,
stop
never
ruining
came
my
You know, we were
immersion,
the champions and we
Deminsky.
earned it.
through. Yeah.
Now, once we lost
Father
the
of Simon
championship,
Diamond.
he couldn't provide the necessary matches for us to get him back.
Simon Diamond is weird for me. I think he's a great character. And I don't have anything against him, but I absolutely hate watching him wrestle. But I like his promos and stuff, but I don't know, something about him in the ring, I never enjoyed his matches.
But he still collected his money. Well, we're not going to go for that.
You had Waffle
And of
House?
course, by any means,
You wanna
we're
steal
not gonna
Vince
go for
Russo's
anybody
brain,
pushing
bro.
bad company around. So we have to
He's
take care of things,
retiring
you
from the
know?
business,
And,
bro.
Prince, you didn't do it for us. You didn't do it for anybody else in that commission. And I know everybody's mad at you, not just us. So
OPC Don is our Vince Russo.
Yeah, but when you...
He keeps trying to rebuild WCW. He keeps trying to make Lol Cow Rejects work to get those trad girl panties off, and it's just not gonna happen. Simon has a problem. Oh, look at Carl Fergie.
Let me tell you something right now. You two scrubs
Scrubs?
in the commission. I didn't get your big matches because you had a losing streak this long. I can't work miracles, suckers.
So you think the commission is on solid ground, right?
That's right. Let me tell you something right now. We so solid, baby, they call us the Rock of Gibraltar.
He's our Jim Herd.
Ain't nothing gonna put us down. We gonna hold up together, and you two bombs definitely ain't gonna make no difference. They dragged their feet the whole time.
You know, everybody knows, Prince, that you were the cause of us losing the match last week. Well, if you think the commission is so solid, we got a little surprise. We got a buddy of ours.
I love this visual, that this is a serious conversation.
Next time we meet your two buns.
Well, you guys have got match coming up in there.
You don't like their
and
gold
the
curtains?
problem with that is you always got free over here.
Who's this?
What is this? Another little defection from the commission.
Is that Bubba?
Nothing but dissension on your part, Lance Russell. You causing stuff like this. You've been putting bugs in there.
Wow, he's got like an over the top
I'll tell you what's
gimmick
on.
going now.
Talk about all the smoke you've been blowing up people's rear ends. Let me tell you, shallow promises about.
Who's in the crown? That's the King, Carl Fergie, Lawler's cousin.
I
think it's his cousin, somebody said.
You know what I mean, chump. Hey, get out of my face, chump. Let me tell you something. You know what's the matter.
Does this mean the era of the black scent and the dancing is over?
You promised us the world. You promised us all this stuff.
Hey, Wrestle
All
Plunge.
that is like dangling a piece of poison meat in front of a starving dog and just waiting for him to take a bite, brother. Let me tell you something. You made all these promises titles, promises this, and I worked with you. I wrestled with you, brother. I know your tactics. I know how you win. What do you mean, man? All these promises, brother. Movies, commercials, all this garbage. It's nothing but a bunch of trash and lies, brother.
Look how big he is here.
When things came down to the bottom line.
Maybe it's just that it's because he's wearing a Dorunda style t-shirt, but it seems like he's gained a lot of weight since we saw him last time.
You weren't there.
What do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think about that topic.
Lance, I know bad company can take care of these two bums. And speaking of the Rock of Gibraltar, Bobby, you got to be facing this right there Monday night, because he's going to be right in our corner. We're going to finish you up.
Hey, next opportunity.
What do you mean he's going to be in your corner?
Mr. Bubba will be in the corner with bad company when they go against Bass and Fergie. So we're going to have to wait and leave and see how that one turns out. And
Maybe I don't know. This is not as interesting. I don't think. I don't care for this whatever this gimmick is. Truck driver. You ungrateful losers. This is Grace Thorpe after somebody makes her mad.
Okay. Well, we're going to take time out right now. We'll be back with more action in just a moment.
I had never really seen much of Memphis, especially not like sequentially to like check out the storylines and stuff. But I'm really enjoying it.
Okay, my friend, I first want to remind you the next Thursday in Paola, Indiana, championship
True,
wrestling
KP.
is boogieing that way.
They're
Boy,
losing
at the
track
junior
of
and
what's
senior
important.
High school, you'll see lots of action. Sponsored by the Optimus Club. That's next Thursday, Paola, Indiana. Now, how about Wednesday night, right there in the Evansville Coliseum? Nasty Boys Brian Knobs will be going against the Black Prince. Billy Travis will be facing the
Interesting
fabulous one,
match.
Steve Kern. AWA Southern Tag title with the title of the Midnight Rockers against the RPMs.
Oh,
putting up
my
a
God.
diamond ring worth $1,000.
Oh my God. The Rockers versus the original rock and roll tag team, Maniac Mike, Tommy Lane, the rock and roll RPMs.
Bucks, that'll be a dandy. Return Mid-America title. 2 referees this time when Jimmy Jack Funk goes.
We've watched
against
like
Jeff Garrison.
we watched
And
all
in
of
the fifth,
'86, and now we're
AWA
almost done
Southern
with
Heavyweight
'87.
title, the King will be challenging Hangman Bobby Jaggers. And then the final bout is going to be a dandy of a tag match when the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez, Hector Guerrero go against Bill Dundee, and his partner will be
This is November 14th, 1987.
Big Bubba, stay tuned and you'll see why.
Oh, I forgot they were doing the face paint now.
And here come the team of the 80s. According to Boss Winner, team of the 80s stepping up right now. We'll see what he has to say when the match is over here. This
Rough
match
and
is
ready.
going to be one fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing at a total weight of 673 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, Keith Robertson. And from parts unknown with their manager, Boss Winner, Rough and Ready.
What are you trying to say about Manny Fernandez, ATF Media? Is it because he's a Texan? Are you anti-Lone Star State? Oh my God, is that Dundee? He looks like an action figure. Look how small he, oh my gosh, that's got to be part of that's got to be like Lord of the Rings camera tricks, right? He looks so little here.
The superstar, Bill Dundee. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Jerry
Oh my God.
the referee for this six-man
Maybe it's the
tag
weed.
team match.
Fellas, sound it.
Because he's a huge
We're ready to
liar.
go. That's
Fair.
Ray out of the ring, going against the superstar, Bill Dundee. Boy, looking at the Nasty Boys with that war paint on, they really look something the way they're painting their faces up, huh?
Well, they do. The new Nasty Boys. Whoa. Look at the action over there on that side of the ring, would you? Brian Knobs gets ready, body slam. He makes the tag on the other of the Nasty Boys, Jerry Sag.
He's still like solo, Jerry Sag.
He's just holding him down. Ready, kicks
I know, Bill Dundee's always small, but for some reason here he just looks like, it's just almost, it's almost comical. This'll be okay though, him against Rough and Ready. You know what, though? You can't knock the guy because not only was he a top guy in the territory, but he was tops when it came to stacking the rats. So, you know, short in stature, tall, you know, he's very tall, though, if he stands on his rat count.
Ready.
Honey, I Shrunk the Wrestler. Oh, my God.
Now he's back in the ring.
Tag on Ruff, and he makes the entry to go against the superstar, the third man on his side of the ring. The biggest of the three individuals over here is Keith.
Cult flicks. I watched one. I subscribed to one. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it sounds something like that. But I think it used to be $6.66 a month, but I don't know if it's the same one or not. But it had a bunch. It has like a bunch of Vinegar Syndrome and Severin Films licenses. Plus, it shows it has like the hard horror and stuff like that. Lumberjack rat match. Lumber rats. Oh man, saying lumber rat made me think about Gia Armani. Remember her? We used to watch her cut all that wood.
Outside the ropes, looking in. Big knee to the midsection.
Well, I noticed Robertson got down off the apron when that one occurred. I think he was saying, please don't come over here and tag me right now.
Who needs a tag? No.
Look at Sag just picking him up. Backbreaker
That looked good.
Counts at 1, 2. At the 2 count, he kicks out of it.
I wouldn't have minded that. Oh, look at Keith Roberson over on the side with his Bruiser Brody leglets on.
In order to hold him down.
And Dundee shovels him in. Brian Knob picks him up. Jerry Sag up on the rope. This could be it. Bang!
Wow, they're just going to take the Doomsday device?
Him right off of Knob's shoulders after the tag. 1, 2, 3, and that is going to be it.
Oh man, he just slapped him in the face.
Robertson never did get in the ring.
Never did.
As Reddy started out, Ruff took over, and then they kind of double team, almost a triple.
Here comes their manager that we never get to hear from.
The winner.
Oh, look, he's getting in the ring. He's had enough.
Team of the 80s goes down to defeat in 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Now they're holding back Boss Winner. Yeah.
Bob Weird?
Between he and Dundee.
Old back and don't you dare let go.
That's like what Memphis is really great at, is like the huge, like just arena brawls all over the place. And I always keep thinking to myself, like, eventually they're going to stop being effective, right? But so far, I mean, they're still entertaining every time. They got the crowd all worked up. Now they're going to bring out the Mexicans.
You stop on a gringo's head. You stop on a gringo's head.
That is not what it says.
You know what I'd be saying if I was in the crowd?
I still got my Hector's hair remover. Please send $30, please. No checks, no money orders, because I need the pesos. Please send $30 to your local station, and everything will be taken care of. Now,
oh my gosh, remember that? And he made such a huge deal about that, but then he was like, he started talking about big booty Latinas and like sexy, fiery Latinas.
Here comes Bill Dundee. Jesus, Bill, we need you to grow a little bit more. We need to use you for shining our boots here. Use you as a stump. Jesus Christ,
Stomp on a gringo's head.
People are screaming. Everybody's saying.
That's what I'd get the USA going.
You can come and you can do and do what happens. It happens. But Dr. D, that was your fault. It wasn't my
Dr.
fault.
D.
You know, Lance, that was his fault.
He was crazy looking though, man. He looked like a big buff executioner.
To see one of the most awesome sights in your life. You know, the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez, when he came here the first time, I told you, you hold the mic, you shut your mouth, we do the talking.
That's right.
Do it in the ring. You understand that? Bill Dundee coming around here, running this yacht.
Well, and I wouldn't have stopped there. I would have told Lance to keep his mouth shut, but then I would have just addressed the crowd and been like, listen, maybe these other guys that come up here, they put up with being shouted over, but when I'm on the microphone, you're going to show me the respect I deserve, and I expect complete silence from the crowd.
You know, when this area realizes that you need men to wrestle, not boys, baby, because boys don't like rock and roll, and I'm not a nice boy. So when I start rocking and rolling, a lot of people start leaving. So I promise you one thing, Bill Dundee, when the Mexican connection comes together,
the Mexican connection.
One thing, we are awesome. We're totally the Dream Warriors of the 80s.
The Dream Warriors of the 80s, hell yeah.
Dream and your nightmare. Because when we get to doing something in that sports circle, Mr. Microphone, we take care of business. And that's what it's all about. I'm sick of hearing about this guy's commission, that guy's commission. How about this guy? The most awesome sight you've seen in wrestling today.
Won the international.
I'm talking about I can win anything I want to win. It's only when I want to stop.
Well, see, and I would be upset by this point, right? If I was Manny Fernandez, and I just had to remind the crowd, like, listen, I thought I made this clear earlier that while I'm talking, you're supposed to shut up. And if you continue to talk, I feel like the crowd would be showing me disrespect, and so I wouldn't want that to happen, because at that point I'd have to go out into the crowd and take care of it like one-on-one with each person in the stands.
Because I am the most total machine who had ever come to a wrestling arena, baby. Because when we come together, we know one thing, Mr. Microphone. We are the ultimate in professional wrestling. We're not some fat nightmare, some bull-headed foreign geek, and a bunch of mules and a jackass. We are the message of the world today. You know what that is? Look out, baby. This is rock and roll, and it's here to stay.
He's a leather man. It's me. The Leatherman Manny Fernandez.
With your former partner, I'll take care of it, all right.
Hey, there's William the Freezer Thompson.
Don't you worry about that, friend. I'll tell you.
Ooh, and Ed Maddox, chat favorite Ed Maddox.
And we're talking about what happened to Dr. D. Davey, go ahead and make the official introduction. I'm going to run this interview. They can't do anything about it while they're in the ring. Go ahead.
True. All right, it's a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. Introducing at 474 pounds from Arkansas, William the Freezer Thompson, and his partner from Memphis, Tennessee, Ed Maddox. Going against him at a total weight of 488 pounds from Mexico City, Hector Guerrero. And in the ring right now, the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez from Texas.
Boy, he is exactly that. I mean, a bull, a mean one, and this son of a gun is some kind of boy right over the
Chat
top.
favorite Ed Maddox not doing too well.
Here comes Guerrero, and right now, if we can,
getting beat up. Oh wow, by the gobbledygooker.
To see the former partner of Hector Guerrero, who got blinded by this Hector's hair remover. Let's take a look at it and listen to what he has to say.
I'm sure everybody has seen the
EFD
situation that took place with Dr. D in Memphis, Tennessee at
I'll be right back.
Wrestling Television Studios. We wanted to come by and talk to Dr. D and introduce you to him. He is Carl Anderson. He had never before wrestled in the championship wrestling area. He came in, as you know, with Hector Guerrero. And the situation that took place as Hector tried with his Hector hair magic to do some damage on Bill Dundee. It backfired, and you have received a very, very severe injury on your right eye.
That's correct. Hector, he thought that it was, very funny, taking his little hair tonic and putting it on somebody's head and removing their hair, which, it's very potent stuff. Remove hair, it had some kind of acid or something in it. I don't know what it had in it. I told him that it had no place in wrestling. We was out there to win, was out there to, get the job done in the right way.
Competition.
Yeah, we wasn't out there to, remove hair. That's a barber's job.
Right. But it was a situation that took place, and you had told me when we were talking before we did this interview that you had even told him, when you were telling him that it didn't have any place in wrestling, you had told him that it was a possibility that it got in someone's eye, it could blind them, and it ended up...
Oh, I should say also, if you're watching this in the future and you came here because you watched my taste test of the 25 milligram chocolate chip cookie, I took it an hour and 2 minutes ago, and it's kicking in.
Blinding you.
That's correct. I lost the right eye on account of this. I had no vision. Hector has not been around. He hadn't checked. He hadn't called. He don't care about nothing. All he wants is fun. All he wants is to be out with his friends. Well, I'll tell you what. I got a lot of a lot of my family and everybody was aggravated that I teamed up with him because they know or had an idea what kind of person he was. I didn't listen, so I did. I received this injury. And it's not a pretty injury, and it ain't nothing that is,
You think she still sings?
I haven't got no vision in this right eye. I'll never have no vision in this right eye. It's just, I just can't see out of it, and it's all on account of him.
That sounds like Jessica White.
Now he's in a situation where he put you
And I
out,
told her
and
she
you made
keeps
a
a cooking them eggs all runny and
that
sloppy and
situation,
slimy.
We appreciate you coming by, or we appreciate you having us come by and talk to us. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you coming by and checking.
Thank you.
It's more than he done.
Well, there you heard it from Dr. D. Very serious with the eye problem, and right now in the ring, as you've been watching all the time, Hector Guerrero and Manny Fernandez just having fun as they've been inflicting
There would certainly be some applause involved, some clapping.
William Thompson,
As Savvy would say, clap it from behind.
No question about this guy's reputation and his record. He is something internationally. They know him everywhere. Look at this.
Ooh.
Sailing off that top rope, down with a knee right down on top of the freezer. And he does a little hot dogging in the ring. Kind of.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Vinny.
That's going to be.
Vinny, what a day of content yesterday. I loved I watched all of it. I loved the video where you filmed the road trip over your parents' shoulders. That was a great video.
3 minutes, 48 seconds the time.
Oh, Jesco no-showed? That's not surprising.
Dominating the match.
They did, in fact, dominate it all.
He's a great character, though. Somewhere in my archives, I'm pretty sure it's still public, but we did a watch for Getting High and watching the 2 Dance and Outlaw movies. We can't watch the other documentary on here because it's got full frontal nudity in it.
But a little better than 3 minutes with the win.
You need any problems, and all your
Just Get that stuff out of
Hector's
here.
hair remover will do the trick.
Just take it away. We're going to take time
Can
out
we
here.
look
We'll be
forward
back with more
to
action in a moment.
some ring cam footage of the rain, Vinny, or no? That's what this would be perfect music for me to come out to. There they are. The original rock and roll tag team. Maniac Mike, Tommy Lane, the rock and roll RPMs.
454 pounds. Mike Davis and Tommy Lane, the rock and roll RPMs. It's Tommy Lane starting against Benny Wilson.
Remember when he was talking about going to see the doctor, and and he was like, well, the doctor done told me that a part of my brain had turned into ash. I'm thinking, what? The doctor told you that part of your brain had turned into ash?
Boy, they didn't waste any time getting going against Benny Wilson in here as Tommy Lane grabbed him and hammered him. Tag made. This is Mike Davis. Rock and roll RPMs. They can wrestle.
Well, the size difference isn't the only thing in this match, Dave. There's just so much more experience, and I mean heavy caliber experience on the RPM side. And again, I think we're looking at a difficult match to say from the front end it's going to be.
I miss the Beach Twins. It's been forever since we've seen the Beach Twins.
Even there's
Very
no
upsetting.
way the RPM class champions, class in the sense that they have been against the best in the business, and they're in against a couple of young fellas, brothers, Benny and David Wilson.
It could be because my edible's kicking in, but there was a really funny part on the Slugga family road trip. Vinny kept trying to get his mom's attention, and she was kind of lightly ignoring him a little bit. But eventually he was like, Mama! And she was like, yes, Vin. And he goes, I'll talk to you when we get home. I really like that one. That was a good one. That's a nice little Vinnyism.
The rock and roll RPMs too. They come in here feeling like they have something to prove.
Is every tag team going to use the Doomsday device on this card?
There's a count of 3.
Fernandez like, you can't use the same finish. Like 2 different teams at both tag team matches ended in the Doomsday device.
Mike Davis is able to hold him down for the 3 count, and rock and roll RPMs out of here in 1:08 with a victory.
No, it didn't take them very long, as a matter of fact.
That's right, it didn't take long.
Oh, Maniac Mike.
You know something? It seems like every time we get in a battle.
Man, I'd want this guy on my side in a bar fight, I feel like.
Last week, we had $1,000. And these 2 idiots jumped us from behind. And by the time I got back, we had $300. Midnight Rockers, we're sick and tired of your stipulations. Now what have we got to do? Now, this time we ain't bringing no money out. Because I got something here worth over $1,000. And when I kicked the old lady out on her can, that I kept, Lance Russell.
When I kicked my old lady out on her can.
That, boy,
Beautiful.
That's right.
That's right, buddy.
You ain't gonna get no money, boys. We put this right here up.
My old lady's ring on a pole match.
You know something, Lance? They say diamonds are a man's best friend. It used to be a dog, but they found out dogs were nothing good for but nothing but kicking around. Just like we're gonna do the Midnight Rockers. And right there, get a good look at it.
I can't wait to see Maniac Mike beat the brakes off of Shawn Michaels. Uh-oh, here they come. Oh, shit.
This is what they're putting up against the
Cocaine levels present, toxic.
Pretty good looking ring.
Yeah, it looks real
Man,
good.
these are 2
Where's
party
my buddy
teams,
Brian
man.
Collins? He knows all about this stuff. We like to call him out here and take a look at this.
Yeah, man, we don't want to call these 2 guys liars or anything. You got this toothless grinning guy over here and this poor punk over here. It's not that we don't believe you or anything, but we want to have our jeweler here check this out.
We want to have our jeweler. Oh, my God.
Glad to have
They've brought in a jeweler to check the legitimacy of this ring. Now, come on, Brian. How could they bring out a jeweler on a moment's notice? Is Tony Khan insane?
You're going to check this one to be sure. You're qualified.
This is asinine, but it's so good.
Qualified to tell you if it's real or not.
Okay, well,
Take real to me, though.
yeah, it's a pretty good-looking ring, as a matter
This is
of
like the
fact.
gold
Brian's got
coin saga.
a little thingamabob up at his eye, whatever it is.
Your brain
He's
turned
checking
to
be
ash
sure.
once, but it got better.
The rocker said it's not that we don't believe you, but
I'd
we
be,
don't believe
I mean,
you.
I'd
So
be
take a
worried if
look at
somebody
this
said
and
that
let's
to me.
see. Huh?
Definitely real.
Hey, Paro, I heard their OPC Don said he's working on a new contract.
Just what they said, it is worth it.
If you're under an NDA, we understand if you can't talk about it.
Brian with Apparel Jewelers.
We're not back jumpers and backstabbers and liars like you two are.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, old
Preach.
Wayne here can't keep his wife at home happy. or
God, this
whatever.
episode has had
Out
so
there, he's got
much
a
content.
ring
Don't you
there
think
on
so?
his hand. I'll tell you what, Marty.
I feel like I thought we were on like the third episode, and then I remembered I've only been live for like 40 minutes.
Well, it was your stipulation that they put up something worth $1,000. He's got a
I thought it was time to end the stream.
Well, if they beat you, you lose the ring. That's what the stipulation.
Which could be a positive review for the enlivened 25 milligram chocolate chip cookie that I ate.
They get the title.
Okay. And we can do what we want with the ring.
Certainly, you
Suggest why don't we just give it out to somebody at the matches there?
How are we going to determine who to
Ooh, can you imagine getting a ring from the Midnight Rockers if you're a rat in the Memphis 80s?
Man say it was worth $1,000.
That's right, but we'll give it to somebody there at the matches. That's what we'll do, right?
That sounds right. I'll tell you what, the people of the South have been good to the Rockers.
Let's take a second. Hey, Cody Turbo. Let's take a second to appreciate Hurricane Paro because he had fueled a resurgence of lolcow rejects, and at its height, he had his legs cut out from under him from OPC Don. He held firm in the, his assertion that he should be in charge. The show tanked without him, and now OPC Don is crawling back to Hurricane Paro. I mean, that's got to be a Paro W.
We gave him a little payoff last time with these poor chumps' money.
What are you going to do? Just walk up and give it to the first girl you see if you win it? If you win it from them,
OPCTE is a great nickname.
Well, in
Look
the
at Shawn
program,
Michaels,
I
Paro.
want to tell you what to do. If you can win it, then I want to tell you what to do. But there's a lucky number in the program, and everybody who has a program has a lucky number.
That'll work right there. That'll work right there. You know?
So every program is going to be numbered, and then if they lose the match, they're going to raffle off Tommy Lane's ex-old lady's ring to a member of the audience. Okay, that's not a weird stipulation at all.
We've been beating these poor guys senseless all over the South, taking their money, taking their belts. And I tell you what, I'm not going to mind taking your old lady's ring and giving it to some good-looking babe at the matches right now. I'll tell you what, everybody bring their programs, buy their programs. The Rockers are going to draw a number, and whoever's number gets...
Never forget that Shawn Michaels' preference with the Rats was to pee in their mouth.
Then it'll be an interesting match, to say the least. If the Rockers end up winning it, they get the ring and keep the titles. They've said they're going to give it out to somebody, a selection of the lucky number out of the program. And, of course, if the RPMs win it, they get the Southern belt and keep the right.
Yeah, back then they were the Midnight Rockers, Paro.
Well, let me tell you something, boy. You ain't going to get it, and you ain't going to give it to no scuzzball. Let me tell you that right now.
All right. Let's
Well, let
not
me
have
just
any
say
fight.
one other thing, Lance Russell. Midnight
Oh,
Rockers.
hey, you know what? OPC did let a little bit of lore out, maybe. I don't know if it had been openly discussed or not, but Hurricane Paro was wanting to add a wrestling element to lolcow rejects, have like a wrestling-focused show or segment, at least. I didn't know that.
Lunch, because we may be there an awful long time. And
Yeah, I'm working on your playlist. I was going to call it On the Air but Unaware, but now you do notify people that you're recording them, so that doesn't make sense. I think we're just going to call it Alexa Record, the hyper-realism of Vinny Slugga.
might get a little hungry.
Okay, Southern belts will be at stake against the $1,000 ring.
Talking in the ring, baby.
Okay, Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels, the current Southern Tag Champs, Tommy Lane, Mike Davis, the RPM. It's your ring against the...
It's our ring, and our ring ain't going nowhere. It's going to stay right where it's at. And all you freeloaders, all you scuds,
All you freeloaders.
Okay, we'll find that out. That's
X
exactly what
Old
the battle
Ladies
gonna be
ring
about.
is
I'm
on the
telling you,
line.
Dave, it gets more interesting all the time. Let's take our time out now. We'll be back. Got an 8-man match coming up in just a moment.
Vinny, do you mind that I refer to you as a hyper realist? Do you think that accurately reflects your filmmaking style? There better be some videos of going places with the parents and examples of how close you sleep to the TV and the playlist. There will be for sure.
You got it from stem to stern. You'll be seeing the fabulous one in there against.
That's
Billy
what I'm going to do
Travis.
tomorrow or Sunday.
Southern Tag Team Title match. That'll be a dandy. That's the Diamond Ring match with the RPMs going against the Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Martin.
I've had to keep editing this Vegan Patriot video over and over and over and over again because it won't. I hate how they don't tell you always exactly what's against TOS in the video, and you just kind of have to guess sometimes. I hate that.
Janetti, Jimmy Jack Funk defending against Jeff Jarrett, 2 referees. You're going to be seeing an AWA
man. Oh my God. Okay, we'll talk about it on Saturday. But Vinny got this great shot, and then he knew enough to make it the thumbnail. But you won't be able to see it on Boit Watch. You'll have to watch it for yourself because on Boit Watch can't transmit in the quality that Vinny broadcasts in. But like when he films this fire truck, it looks like it's just like glass. It looks so detailed and like so like it. I mean, I understand that it's real, but it looks real on the screen. It looks like you're not even looking through a window. It just looks like it's like super like crystal clear. It's amazing. And yes, I was on drugs when I was watching it, but that's irrelevant.
Chip match. Boy, I want to see this one. The King going against Bobby Jaggers, particularly after all the things he had to say.
That's right, Lance. Wednesday night in Evansville is going to be a big night. Did everybody understand? All the girls in that other match.
Who's a Jewish werewolf?
A program because somebody's going to win $1,000 diamond ring.
You won't be. I mean, you wouldn't.
If the Rockets win that match,
it's incredible. It's like the most.
And what else is going to be great is the fact that Wednesday night,
like a visually detailed image I think I've seen on YouTube.
Championship belt back around my waist. Now Jaggers was saying that I was beaten for the title. Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said you'd been beaten several times. He had never been beaten.
Let me just refresh his memory. That title had to be forfeited when Bill and I won the AWA World Tag Team belts. I didn't get beat by anybody for that title.
Do you take a high shower? I really like those.
When I get you in Evansville, it's going to be the first time that you and I have faced off.
I'm going to take your wife's wedding ring.
I promise you this. It's going to be one that you'll remember because it'll be the night that you lose the belt for the first time.
Ooh, yeah. Think of that one. And then
turn
around and
I guess.
Bill Dundee will be in there going against Hector Guerrero, Manny
Like
Fernandez.
a tugboat,
you
man.
got yourself quite a partner.
That's right, the strongest man I've ever faced.
He is getting huge.
Wow. And I know he was going to be there, so I turned to him and I said, Big Bubba, please help me beat up Hector Guerrero and Manny Fernandez.
Please help me beat up these Mexicans.
He says, because we're both superstars, and this is the biggest superstar I've ever wrestled.
Every time I think about that, I think about the VP video where she's talking to the 2 Mexicans at the bus stop, Lost Media. Oh, wow. What a promo. This is his entire promo.
That's right there in Evansville, Indiana. Let me tell you something. Not only get to take and knock out Brickhouse Brown in the same night, but we get to take 2 wetbacks from down under there and bury them right there in Evansville.
We're going to bury him. I don't know much about Portland wrestling, honestly. I've listened to some shoot interviews from people that work the territories. I've seen like some archival footage, but that was actually it was like a coin flip between Memphis and Portland for where I was going to go to. But I want to see more about it, but I don't know much about it.
Expiration of time match coming up here. 8-man tag action, 1 team in the ring. We're waiting for the others. You hear the music. There's Shawn Michaels.
That could be, but man, he just looks. Oh no, the Rockers and Billy Travis.
Across the way, it's King Carl Fergie, Don Bass, and under those hoods, the Executioners with their manager Nathaniel.
The Executioners, yeah, I'm sure they're gonna win.
Here, you see him in the what is that, a peach-colored
It
jacket
does.
he has on?
Memphis always looks like a circle.
In the ring, it's referee Jerry Calhoun trying to get it down to 1 for each team to start this one. Should be interesting. We don't have a whole lot of time, unfortunately.
No, you're right. Unfortunately, we don't, because we've got I don't know the...
I've thought about, like, maybe starting Portland, but then, like, my high brain, I don't know that I can follow 2 wrestling storylines concurrently. Like, 2 promotion storylines. And then I'd be worried, like, if I needed to take a break to show something else, then I would, like, fall behind, and then I would forget what was going on.
Executioners. I do know Bass and Fergie. I certainly know the Midnight Rockers, and I know Jeff and Billy, so we've got quite a team on the other side of it.
You know, I was not paying attention either. I also noticed that Prince, Don Bass's manager, is out here. And King Carl Fergie, so you've got 2 managers in the corner. The Prince with a commission.
We need to get Ava the G in as, like, a ring card girl.
The Executioners.
Hey, Thomas Wyatt.
Jeff Jarrett in there against King Carl Fergie.
All I saw was Underground Vegan, and I thought that VP had opened up a new account somewhere. Yeah, Roddy Piper was big. Billy Jack Haynes for a time. I think, like,
Jeff and Billy double up.
I don't know who else would have been a regular there, though.
Cover by Travis. 1, 2.
I'm woefully uninformed on
Back on his feet. Not for long.
Portland.
He reached for a tag in the corner. He got it, too. One of the Executioners coming in. He grabs Travis.
Oh, yeah, Buddy Rose. Oh, Buddy Rose was great.
The Midnight Rockers. He tags Shawn Michaels. Executioner off the rope. Look out. Shawn Michaels flying through the air. Meets him in the middle of the ring. The Prince jumps in. Interferes. Referee's calling for the bell.
Here we go. Another ring clearing.
On Carl Fergie.
Can just imagine Cornette. Now, God damn it, Brian, if you do a fuck over finish every match, the people, they'd be throwing, they'd be rioting, burning the place down. This is like the 5th ring clearing brawl we've had on this episode alone.
Here comes Fernandez, Hector Guerrero in the ring, starting to fill up. All kind of folks going at it in there now.
Blue Collar Wrestling. That's got a cool name. So there actually is, I don't know, what would you call it? Well, I mean, it's called Extreme Dwarfinators is coming to my area soon. And I thought about going, but it's $40. And also, like, they don't have assigned seating, which is really weird to me. And, like, in my mind, I visualize the place as being, like, sold out. And I'm going to get stuck in, like, the 3rd row. Like, I don't care where I'm at as long as I'm in the front row. But I would rather just pay extra and get a front row ticket than, like, have a blanket price for the first 3 rows. You know what I mean?
Short time. What we've got to do is get ourselves in a position to take a break. We've still got another break to get into as the battle goes on. Dundee and Manny Fernandez across the way.
Is this an expiration of time match?
Prince into the turnbuckle. Don Bass going over after Billy Travis. Executioners.
Look at the camera guy. That's awesome. I love when we get to see the crew.
Marty Jannetty with a cane, and now Jannetty's got it.
Okay, I'll tell you what we better do.
I think you're right, Daninsky. Being real though, of the arena footage that we've seen, I much prefer the TV show presentation, to quote Savvy Guy. I just feel like it's much more, I get the vibe is so different at the live shows where like everything is like the matches are more drawn out and slowed down, and you're not getting all the promos and stuff. I just like the Memphis TV format like so much better than I do like the live shows, even though the matches were probably better.
Dundee in the middle of the ring is Hector Guerrero.
You watched this as a kid? That's awesome, man.
Goodness gracious, look at the pounding going on. This started out to be an 8-man tag match. And
I can't even imagine like seeing it on TV every week live, or like going to the shows every week.
Fernandez out on the floor with Jeff Jarrett. Jeff nailed over.
I also don't know if you would be allowed to, if the Dwarves would allow you to live stream from the event. But I guess I could just like hold my phone up really high in the air if a situation arose.
Over one of the executions.
Fernandez
Boom!
holding metal chair down here. Dundee
Oh, he's got a bar stool in there.
throws a wooden stool into the ring. Shawn Michaels just nailed one of the executioners with that.
Shawn Michaels.
Good use, too. He nailed him hard.
What's the referee doing? Cashing a check, it looks like. Typical Eddie Marlin. Uh-oh, look at... Oh, man.
They got Guerrero walking around with that cane.
That would have been nuts.
Hey, we got to take a break, Dave. This
A
thing goes
UPS
on. We'll take
driver. Are you
time
talking
out.
about
Come back when it
tugboat?
closes in a moment. Bound to end up with the old tempers just going crazy, and you end up with I kind of like it every now and then, as long as we're not involved in it.
We almost were a couple of times. They were firing people over toward the desk over here. It's one of those things, though, that once it gets out of hand,
All
it
the
just seems to
Ava-pilled people are
expand,
from
and
the
then
Portland
more
area.
People kept coming in, and they started out, I think you remarked, with 8 men in there, and before you know, well, 9, including the referee. Before you know it, we've got at least 15 in there.
Well, at first, it was unfair.
Man, that was
because
wild
Prince
as hell.
And Nate the Rat jumped up in the ring, which made
Nate
it
the
then
Rat.
a total of 6 guys against 4 guys. And then here comes Bill Dundee, and he jumped in.
Remember when Bethadone showed
Manny
Mount Hood on
Fernandez and Hector Guerrero
Celebrity
jumped in.
Sunday?
Big Bubba, and I don't know who all.
I don't know who all ended up in there, but it was wild out here for a while. Finally, got him back to the dressing room. Other matches today, we had Bobby
Oh,
Jaggers and
also,
Hangman and
you guys might like this, a little inside news on our podcast. I did get a message from Bethadone today who said that she wants the first episode to be the weepy voice killer because she has a real personal connection to the guy because he's a compulsive alcoholic. And then she informed me when I had thought we were going to do Did Grace Thorpe Scam People with the Fresh and Fit trip. She told me instead that I needed to choose a story that I felt an emotional connection to.
Jimmy Jack Funk. This is going to be a devastating tag.
Have I ever
game, I'm
gone to
afraid,
Ava the
if they
G
stay
content?
together
I don't
in territory
objectify
here. They
women
won,
like
their
that,
match
Daninsky.
today over Ricky Fontana and John Paul. Jaggers and Jimmy Jack Funk, devastating single wrestlers in their own right, and you put them both in the ring at the same time. They are tough.
Although,
King,
I'll keep it 100 here. Ava did have one stream, and I actually have asked for it multiple times, and she refuses to turn it over. I don't know if it's in her members only or not, but there was a video she did that was just pretty much goon content. I think she was rollerblading in a bikini down to the beach, and then she was swimming. But there was a lot of really good Grace drama in it because Grace was in the chat. But it was also like a pretty solid gooner type stream.
Very handily.
I can't lie to you guys. I wouldn't be impartial if I lied.
Lawler right in the side of the face. I've seen kids do that before, and Lawler will come after you. He did.
Great stream though.
Seconds.
Beautiful
It took him to count 1,
visuals.
2,
You got
3,
the
or to get a
goon
1, 2, 3
content. You
count
got
on
the
Blue
drama
Knight and the victory.
content.
Dundee and the Nasty Boys.
It's
in a
also
6-man tag team
unavailable,
match, getting the victory over
so
the
it's
team
got
of
like
Rough
that
and Ready and
aura,
Keith
the
Robertson.
mystique to
Then
it.
it was Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull, and Hector Guerrero in here, the Mexican connection. They were calling themselves.
Yes.
As they were going against Freezer Thompson and Ed Maddox. In that one, it was just all Fernandez and Guerrero. They kind of turned it into a workout, I think. They probably could have gotten a pin earlier than they did, but Fernandez and Guerrero did walk out with the victory. Then it was Rock and Roll RPMs. They came in with a mission, and they pinned the Wilson brothers, David and Benny. Benny, actually, I don't think David was officially in the match there, but they pinned Benny.
That's the only Ava stream, though, I can think of that would have
it was
like
a wild 8-man that we were talking about a minute
goon
ago.
quality
Started
to it.
out,
He was in that.
Everybody involved.
I don't feel like she
Started out
really
with, the
is.
Midnight Rockers,
Usually
Jeff
she
Jarrett,
has
Billy
on like
Travis
her
against
hair
King
done really
Crawford,
weird,
Don
or she's
Bass,
wearing
and the
like strange
Executioners, and the
makeup.
team of the Midnight Rockers, Jeff Jarrett and Billy
It's just
Travis
my-
get
that's
the
my
win
take.
by disqualification.
That, my friend, covers it more than handily. As you told them all about it and son of a gun.
Lost Gooner. It's genuinely
See you next week.
like, even outside of the Goon content, like if you're interested in the Grace drama, like there's really good back and forth between and Grace said something to me about Ava that was like really outlandish that I would like to get like to be able to like zoom in on the chat for a video on.
For Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program.
It was something along the lines of like somebody had timed Grace out, and I asked Ava to please be the bigger person and let Grace speak. And then Grace basically said that, like, judging by Ava's look in the video, like, she already was the bigger person.
Hey, son of a gun, we got a whale of a program. Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown. We're sitting right along
An unreleased pic of Ava and Grace
begin.
chilling at the beach.
Listen,
Oh,
we got
man.
Bill Dundee, the superstar, in here today.
In the like
match.
triple
Diane
lockdown
and Bobby Jaggers will be
distinction
along. We've
Goon
got an
Vault.
8-man tag team match. Listen to this. Well, we've also got Manny Fernandez and Hector Guerrero. From the music, they're not far away.
They're not to be out here till a little bit later.
It's a crime if that video is not in her members only. It's got so much Grace, funny Grace lore. What kind of a look is this for Shawn? What in the world? Now you got the leather man, and you got this guy Donald ducking it.
Hey, come on, can we do it later?
Irrationally afraid of Grace. What does she think is going to happen? Like, does she genuinely believe that she's, like, of physical danger from Grace? Like, that Grace would do her, like, would try to beat her up or something? I don't see Grace getting into a fight willingly ever, like a physical exchange.
Hour and a half, and don't you forget it. That's the way it is. Now listen.
Oh, hey, what's up, Jedi Rich?
Not only is our Mexican Medical Association.
Man, that video Joy posted really made a lot of people mad in the comments. But I thought it was such a Jedi Joy moment where she was on the street and kept pulling her leg up. That was amazing.
More advanced than the American medical.
Gay pride.
Hey, Mexico's
Yeah,
known for
it's
one thing, right, Manny? And what is that? For the greatest chili in the world. Yeah. We don't take invitations. We don't like invitations in the world today. But all you people want to go to Taco Bell. You want to go to John Tacos. Hey, baby, the real thing is looking at you. The one and only and the greatest Mexicans of all time, baby. And we're talking about authentic.
We know Mexico.
Listen, there's one ingredient that's the most powerful ingredient in Mexico, and this is what you call the green jalapeno. Take a bite of this, baby. It'll wake you up every morning. Hey, it's the best cure. You don't need no alcohol, you don't need nothing. Whenever you got a hangover, just bite this pepper, and you'll get up real quick.
Huh? What's a pepper promo?
You know, in Mexico, you don't find...
Well, listen. I'll be real. If he would have said that he had 2 motherfucking peppers on the side with him at all times, I would have completely lost my
I
mind.
need grits and grits. Oh my God, grits and biscuits. You never find those places over there. But over here, look at all these invitations they got. Hey, I am getting sick and tired of you American people assassinating our
He doesn't
Mexican
like
food.
these Mexicans taking all these American wrestler jobs.
No more happening. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I got myself a little bit of something today.
Some more of that hair.
Yeah, Mama Conchita's kitchen.
The people in the crowd are like, how dare you make me learn about a different culture?
Get that.
All you gringos and chicken skins out there, if you like our food, try Mama Conchita's chili. This is the best chili wherever you'll find it. Now, let me see, Kate. I'd like for you to look at it.
Come on, Lance. Did you see Dave Brown selling it? Woo! Yeah, me and Bethadone are doing a true crime podcast. Well, we're gonna do something next week, but I don't know for sure if we're gonna do we might do a live if she can handle that, or we might do like a pre-recorded segment, but it's not going to be the podcast, but we just like be talking about the podcast. A pre-podcast, if you will.
No, you don't want me to taste it. I don't know what's in there, Hector. Hey, I saw you with that hair stuff in there, what it did. Don't be putting any of that stuff.
you. We did that.
Oh, we're not going to do that.
Mr. Microphone, but we want you to take some real things. Hold on, real.
I tell you what, you taste it first, and then I'll try some of it.
Come on, Lance.
No. After you, friend. I guess if it's going to kill, it'll kill them first.
Let's have these people taste it.
Yeah.
Is he going to take it to the crowd?
Well, we got a cooking show going now, David.
Oh, wow.
Is that hot? Some good.
Are these plants?
There you go. We got some real people here.
Yeah.
Woke up this morning, huh? Well, now, Mr. Microphone, let me hold this here. I don't want you to fall all over yourself when you hear this chili.
Come on now.
This is the greatest chili in the world. Mama Cotita.
Nothing going on.
Nothing going on, baby.
I don't think
It's
so,
a real
no.
thing. Just like me and him.
It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough with our countries being at war with each other.
Oh, yes, that's what chili bowl is all about. That's what the dairy is all about. You want some help?
No, I want some water is what I want.
Water. Lance, we're going to leave this here for you. Dave, you want to try something?
This is absolute, just complete nonsense, but it's great.
You might need a couple of buckets of water to taste your tang off.
No. We gotta
Oh,
take
look
a
at
break.
Lance selling it.
Remember, the secret is all in the pepper. It's all in the pepper.
You gotta keep 2 motherfucking peppers on the side. Come out to Evansville, baby. Daninsky, are you asking that because I frequently threaten to put Bethadone inside of her dog cage?
The action underway immediately. We don't even have time.
That's a non-sexual thing.
Now let's make it official. Everybody's in the ring. Jim Jameson and Ken Raper were in there waiting for the arrival of the Mexican.
Yeah, they were
connection.
definitely. I think they still are heels.
Manny the Raging Bull out in the corner. Hector Guerrero in there still with his warm-up jacket on. That's Jim Jameson's head into the boot of the Raging Bull.
Remember, Jim was the one that got doused with that Hector's hair remover, too.
Oh, yeah.
He was after Hector, but got overwhelmed real quick with Manny coming in there to help out.
Wow, that was stiff looking. Damn, bro. Oh, man, he still got his things on, his chaps.
Hector anxious to get in here. They double up.
Oh, God.
Fernandez picked Hector up and dropped him down on Jameson.
Oh, my gosh. Jim Jameson taking a beating, man.
Jameson backed under the ropes, fired across the ring. Hector Guerrero. Double forearm tag.
Man, poor Jim Jameson, man.
Fernandez trying to get those chaps off.
He did get one win, though, over Tony Falk.
Get down to just plain old wrestling attire.
Fernandez, the international heavyweight champion, goes to the top rope.
Oh, my God. Bro, watch this.
All the way down. Dropped right down across Jim Jameson. That should be it.
Good, man, I'd retire. That'd be it for me. Seeing Manny Fernandez laying his knee and shin across my collarbone from the top rope. Nope. I'll be like, I need to, can I become a manager?
Worked it together. Okay, you got your win. No, okay, no, I don't.
Come on now, Lance. Come on, Lance. Help yourself.
We still got a lot of show to do. I don't know. Come on now. We got a lot of show to do. We got to take time out.
You can at least eat my chili.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Look at Dave Brown. He's sickened by this. He's like, what's this chili made out of? Disease and sadness? Ooh, man. That looks so good, though.
Okay, we're going to be back
back into what is one of the most exciting television programs of championship wrestling I believe we've seen in a long time. You be sure and stay right there. And, brother, Wednesday night in Evansville, I got to tell you, it all comes down.
He's been on a drunken tear.
RPM's going against the Rockers with the possibility of Tommy Lane's Lincoln being given away right there.
No, hold on, what?
Jeff Jarrett will...
Okay, so first it was his old lady's wedding ring that was up for grabs. Now they're wrestling each other for Tommy Lane's car.
Will be there in Evansville going against Jimmy Jack Funk. Bill Dundee.
Like on his
Victor
channel?
Guerrero. You're going to be seeing a loser of the fall leaves town when we've got a situation.
He needs
where Paul
Provo.
Diamond,
He needs to be collabing
will
with
be going
Provo.
against King Carl Fergie and singing Don Bad.
Let me tell you one thing, Lance Russell. I never did like either one of them punks when it was on our team, brother. And after Wednesday night, baby, in Evansville, Indiana, you're going to be leaving on a bus or in an ambulance, and I promise you that, baby.
Well, I tell you, remember, it works both ways. One of this team could be going.
Donnie Bass said it all. Now, fellas, they got a deal going down to U-Haul. You better pick up the phone, call in, and make your appointment, suckers.
Man.
The whole time they were with the commission, they were nothing but losers. And this week, there's nothing going to be different. They're going to lose and they're going to leave town. We ain't going nowhere. The rest of the commission is here to stay.
That's what it's all going to be about Wednesday night, because I'll tell you, one of the teams is going to be heading on the road because the loser of the fall will leave town. That is just one of the...
You don't want me to go nowhere.
Hey, all I want you to do is just
right?
be there and let's have a good match. Wednesday night, I got to tell you, what a night it'll be.
Woo! Wednesday night in Evansville.
The first one didn't take too long, as a matter of
No, you're fine, man.
Fernandez and Guerrero, very...
This is all vibe content. I mean, I love that backdrop. Can you imagine that behind me here?
Superstar, Bill Dundee. Billy.
Man, I don't know. I think it was Merle Haggard that wrote the song. You know, he said, what was he said? If you get knocked in this country, you get on the fighting side of him. Now, I know what it says up here. It says Australian, right? And that's where I grew up, and but I came to America, and I became American. I got a little piece of plastic. It says green card, and it says Bill Dundee's allowed to live in America. And I'm sure Manny
Well,
Fernandez
buddy,
got one, and I'm
he's
sure
still
Hector
alive,
Guerrero's got
right?
one.
Can we get
And
him
if you
out of
ain't
here?
American,
Can we
brother,
get him,
you've got to
deport
get
Bill
papers to
Dundee?
stay here, and if you don't, you gotta leave.
Wasn't there a
So it's obviously
controversy?
you
I
just
said he was
gotta,
dead,
or
and then
you
it turned
wouldn't
out he
be
was
here.
alive.
But I'm awful proud of mine. I don't mind telling people I'm from Australia, because right now it's kosher to be from Australia. Paul Hogan makes a movie, calls it Crocodile Dundee, steals my name, makes $70 million off it. And all of
Get
a
him
sudden,
out of here.
all of a sudden, it's kosher to be an Australian. Well, I'm awful proud to be that, but I'm also double proud to be an American. Now, that's all I really got to say to you two jerks. And we go to Taco Bell, and we go to Taco John, and I like that food. And Lance will
Hey,
like
listen,
it.
I'm not racist, mate. I like Taco
All
Bell.
I've got to say to you two bums, if you don't like it, leave it.
Woo! Why don't you leave it, buddy?
Wrestling and politics is two different things. Now, I'm fixing to climb up in the
Wrestling
ring
and
wrestle
politics are
somebody,
two
and that's
different
what I do
things.
for a living.
What a
I'm awful
naive
proud to be an
outlook,
Australian, but
Bill.
I'm doubly proud to be an American. Thank you.
Hey, Billy, thank you for dropping by.
He has bad dementia now. Oh, that sucks.
Ready to go against Keith Eric. Keith out of Memphis, Tennessee at 206. Bill Superstar Dundee.
Remember when Vern Gagne had dementia and he killed that guy? Killed his roommate or whatever?
Jerry Calhoun calls for the bell, and here we go.
Oh, he's up against, is that Keith Eric? Look at this new ring attire. Pittsburgh Steelers.
The very best that there is. That son of a gun, he gets awfully tough when he gets in there, but yeah, I know you forgot something.
Oh, man.
I am not to agreement. I am in my home. Mexico is here. And heck,
What a lousy match.
in Mexico is in the United States. Now, you all remember one thing. You all stole Texas from us. We didn't steal
I didn't care for that.
And you all surged to the West Coast.
Have Bill
Let
eat
me
some of
tell
the
you one
salsa.
thing. As an American, as a Mexican, I am a Mexican, and I am in my country. This is my country.
I mean, it's a job,
Bill
but it's
Dundee,
funny to think about.
Bill Dundee! Bill Dundee! Come over here, Crocodile Dundee!
My all-time favorite wrestler day job thing, and I don't even know if it was ever proven or whatever, but there was like the belief for a long time that Shane Douglas was working as a breadstick maker at Olive Garden.
Well, you got two of you guys against him.
Robot Glock, he's built like El Dandy. He has the luchador build. Big upper body. Look at him shaking hands. That guy ate the salsa, man.
We're gonna make this simple, and we're not gonna fight or anything. Let's have a little discussion here. Why do you say love it or leave it? Now I say one thing. I am in my country. This is Mexico to me. See, Tennessee volunteered to go to the Alamo. We didn't, baby. That's right, and we won. We won.
Oh boy, bringing up the Alamo.
I told you a little bit before. Politics and wrestling is two different things. I wrestle for a living.
Oh my
you're very
gosh.
good at it, and you're very good at it. Just leave it at that. I don't care who had the Alamo first, and I don't care who has it now. I'm awful proud to be an American.
Well, what kind of American is that? What kind of American is that?
What do you mean? What kind of? He just told you he's proud.
He's an Australian, down under.
He's an Australian. Get him out of here.
Bill Dundee, you're asking somebody from down under.
Let's put it this way. If I was in Mexico and they played the Mexican national anthem, I'd stand up and salute it. When they play the Star Spangled Banner, I'd stand up and salute. And when we go down to Australia and they play that national anthem, I'd stand up and salute. But I'm awful proud to be here, brother, because I make an awful lot of money, and this is the best country in the world, and I like it, Daddy.
You can tell he's a politician. He's a great politician. Hey, Dundee, if they vote you for president, what are you going to tell them, Dundee, huh? You're a great politician there, baby. I mean, you know, you and President Reagan ought to be getting together there, Daddy.
I'm not getting involved in no politics. All I'm telling you, well, just let us, just real plain, if you don't like it, you don't love it, why don't you, and why don't you leave it?
An Australian trying to dictate immigration policy in America to two Mexicans. Oh, he took the chili to the eyes. Blinded by chili. Oh, wow. EFD on the scene. Get out of here. Get out of here, guys. Oh, Eddie, look at finally. Why wasn't Eddie Marlin out there when there was an open container of jalapeno? He specifically said many times that the secret ingredient was jalapeno.
Championship wrestling coming up in just a moment.
Well, that's the end for Bill Dundee. I mean, how can you come back from that? Oh man, you know what I'd like to have right now, but it would have to be like a real. It would have to be really well made. I want like an artisanal like grilled cheese.
Madisonville, Kentucky, and Thursday, December the 17th at Morganfield. Just start making your plans right now to be on the lookout for Wednesday night, man. You won't have but one chance to see a card like this.
Bill Dundee, victim
T-Joe Khan will be going against
cooking.
Brian Knobs in the opening bout. International heavyweight title on the line with Jerry
victim of an Ethiopian restaurant.
Manny Fernandez, loser of the fall to leave town between Paul Diamond and Pat Tanaka and King
Would you
Carl
say that
Fergie
Ben and
Don Bass with Prince at ringside.
Courtney's
Bill
marriage
Dundee goes
is
against
the
Hector
victim
Guerrero. Jeff
of an
Jarrett
Ethiopian
will
restaurant?
Be there Wednesday night to go against Jimmy Jack Funk, and brother, you can throw the rules out in that one. And then a Southern Tag Team title match. Midnight Rockers will be going against the RPMs. Maybe Tommy Lane's Carl will be given.
Oh boy.
Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels are bringing the AWA Southern Tag Team Championship belt.
Winner gets Tommy Lane's.
Tommy Lane's car. Marty and Shawn, congratulations on having the belts. I know that the Diamond Ring match, there were some problems there after that match with these guys, the Rock and Roll RP.
Marty trying to get the belt to stay on his shoulder, but he doesn't have it. Doesn't have the flap out on it. Look at him. There he goes. Finally.
When you guys sit right back and look and say, oh, what the hell am I doing here? And right about now, it's got to be what the RPMs are doing, because we already beat them for the belts. Then we beat them for some money, and then we beat them for a ring, and now they're putting up their Lincoln Continental.
That's right. Tommy Lane's Lincoln Continental on the line this time.
That's right. You know, some guys, they can't leave well enough alone. And you poor guys are going to lose everything you own if you keep messing with the Midnight Rockers. I'll tell you what. We were fortunate enough to come in to the South and take the Southern Tag belt.
Man, imagine clapping like Prime Sonny. Wow.
With the RPM's money, and we did that. We told the people that we were going to give them a diamond ring, and we did that. Well, now we're telling you,
They may have taken his hair. They can't take that away from him.
I'll tell you what, come on down to the Coliseum, wherever it may be, because the Midnight Rockers are keeping another promise, and they're letting some lucky person go home with one of the RPMs, Lincoln Continental, brother.
All right, you've backed up everything that you've said since you've been in the territory here. Standing by right now, and I wish you guys would stand here and listen, because Lance right now is with the Rock and Roll RPMs, who I think are standing by that Lincoln Continental.
Yeah, I don't care for that design.
I'm standing outside
what's going on here?
Former AWA Southern Tag Champions, the Rock and Roll.
Oh, look at this shot.
Nice. Tommy Lane and Mike Dice. See, you got your baseball bats to beat off your adoring fans.
To beat off the fans? Oh, my God. Is that like a promotion?
The Midnight Rockers come in here, and you steal our belts. The second thing you do, you jump us from behind, and you throw our money out to all those free.
Oh, man. Were you here, Robot Glock, whenever they had Jeff Jarrett, the poster?
And
maybe they'll run another ad for it.
And most despicable, my poor old lady don't have no ring now because you give it to a Frito loader just like yourself. So now you're wanting this Lincoln Continental put up, boys. You drive sports cars and whatever, well, we got the class of the line right here. And let me tell you something. If something does happen, if you cheat your way past us again, we just might take these ball bats and beat it up because it is mine. I worked hard to play for it, and I'll do what I want to with it.
So his plan is he's just gonna beat up his own car? Like, huh? What? I don't understand this.
You know something, Tommy? Good night, Rockers. You come in here and you want to take Bubba's car? You've already taken everything else.
Titles, money, diamond ring, and now the car.
You see the baseball bets? The car's going home with us. Because that's our pride and joy. You're not getting the car. You might get the bat. But like Tommy said, if it happens again, if you get it over again, we'll beat the car to where it's not even drivable. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people would be glad to see you go, and that's the kind of attitude. They put the car...
I definitely don't understand the logic behind saying, like, hey, if we lose, we're just going to beat the car up. I don't get it.
And son of a gun, now they're talking about if they lose it, they're going to beat that thing to death. Dave, take it away, please.
Come on, Dave.
Okay, thanks, Lance. Sean, you heard what they said.
That's right, Dave. I'll tell you what, the Midnight Rockers in their career, they haven't done a whole lot of things right, and nobody's caused more trouble in the world of professional wrestling than the Midnight Rockers, but they're the first to admit it. But I'll tell you what, RPMs, they've never stole a title. They've never stole anything from anybody. Everything the Midnight Rockers have ever gotten in their lives, they've earned, and they've earned it through guts and working hard. And I'll tell you what, if you don't like it, that is really, really
Don't
tough.
underestimate the heartbreak
So
kid.
Mike Davis and Tommy Lane, Midnight Rockers are telling you this. When we beat you in this match, we become the owners of that car. And if you lay one scratch on that car, we're sending you two ugly mugs to jail, pal. I'll tell you what, take our word for it. Somebody is going home in your car whether you like it or not.
Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. Rockers will be going again.
Well, I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that angle. I don't understand the stipulations of, like... Oh, no. Here you go, Robot Glock.
Wow. Now that's a poster.
To order your Jeff Jarrett
That's a
poster,
poster,
call
fellas.
1-800-336-2600. That's 1-800-336-2600. Save COD charges by having your credit card ready, or send a check or money order in the amount of $10 to Jarrett Poster, Post Office Box 3020, Cherry Hill, New Jersey 08034. Allowed 2 weeks for delivery.
If Laughing Cedar were here, I mean...
Okay, we're going to be back in the ring here in just a moment. And who is going to be in the ring but Jimmy Jack Funk, the former
Oh, no. Jimmy Jack Funk?
What kind of garbage is that? Now they got sissy boy posters?
Sissy boy posters.
Very attractive poster. The jealousy will get you.
Jimmy Jack Funk.
Jimmy Jack Funk, the Mid-American
No, wrong.
I could feel it, man. I knew it was coming.
but you're not the champion. You know Jeff Jarrett won that
If
title.
you are a Jeff Jarrett fan, that is probably a good poster, especially if you'd like to see him in that state of undress.
I'll tell you what, that sissy boy could never beat me on my worst day when I got a 3-day hangover. He could never
Looked like a
beat
Tony
me.
Yeoman platter.
'Cause he's a sissy.
Well, you'll have your opportunity, I'm certain, in there, but you do not have the belt legally. It's time to get in the ring and time for
Take
Jimmy
a
Jack.
look at this. This is my belt. I beat that little sissy punk, and nobody is going to say that he beat me again. I'll tell you what, I am the toughest.
They're definitely sweeping for the poster.
In the wrestling ring, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
Well, there's somebody up in the ring.
I mean, like, to be fair, I bet they made a bunch of money because stuff like that back then sold big, not just to, like, the guy wrestling fans, but, like, the Jeff Jarrett, Rock and Roll Express, you know, Fabulous Ones, Fantastics, all those, like, blowjob people, they sold a ton of merch. So, like, they probably made quite a bit of bank on that.
You're going to have to convince for it. You got a match coming up. You
The
also
Rats got to
that
have it.
Rope, and you got that cowbell as your little security blanket or something. You head for the ring. The belt does not belong.
Have you ever noticed, Daninsky, that a lot of the mail-in orders and, like, stuff from this era go to Cherry Hill, New Jersey? There's, like, it's not all of them by any means, but, like, it comes up, like, very, very frequently.
To Jimmy Jack Funk. It was won by Jeff Jarrett, John Paul. You might know it.
Jimmy Jack
the warm-up
Funk.
jacket off, and Jimmy Jack Funk jumps in from behind.
Nice sell.
In the corner. Funk picking John Paul up by the hair, backs into the rope, across the ring, up high in the air. Oh, look at Funk. Oh, boy. Count is 2 and it's over.
Thank God it was a brief
It
match.
went 24 seconds. Jimmy Jack Funk went in there with a mission and defeats John Paul.
I look like a beast.
Yeah, but I also would have...
My belt. I am not a beast.
I
A
would have
what?
to tell you, you saw he jumped him before he ever got turned around in there. He's standing out here in conversation.
Oh, wow.
Flying up in there and jumped John.
Wow, he's really sweeping for whoever that jobber was.
Right in the air, actually. He beat him when he's back.
WTVW. Oh, boy, look, here comes loudmouth Eddie Marlin.
He was the champion. He won the belt. He beat Jeff, and he got the belt. Well, everybody who was at the matches know that Jeff won the belt. He won it fair and square. And I'm giving Jimmy Jack
Repo
1
Man.
minute. You can either bring that belt out here, Jimmy Jack, in 1 minute, or you're suspended. You can take the belt.
Oh, why don't you sober up, Eddie?
Out here right now, you're suspended.
All right, fair enough. Now, we've had this situation before.
That's right. I've had to do this before, and I'll do it again, I guess, as long as somebody's around like Jimmy Jack Funk.
Oh,
But right
come
now,
on.
You can bring it out. There's a clock.
You
1
notice
minute. It
that?
better be here.
You never notice that? We never see Eddie Marlin hardly ever. And all of a sudden, oh, if it's Jeff Jarrett, I've got to come out here and make sure that, you know, he getting a fair shake since he's my grandson. Come on, dude. The only time this guy cares about order or rules or anything is if it benefits his grandson.
Up winning the belt in there, and then the guy bangs you around and takes the belt and runs
That's
off.
right, Lance. We talked about it, and I felt like about a fair shake of the belt. The week before,
Stop
there was
bringing
just
up
one referee.
Mike
There
Trout.
was 2 referees. They saw what was going on, and I was lucky enough to come out with the belt. But I guess in the glory of the victory,
What did Ben
Jimmy Jack
say
had to spoil it. He had to
the
hit
bathroom
the
smelled
cowbell,
like
and
when
then,
Grace came out of
next
it?
thing I know, I woke up
Freshly
and,
baked
no belt.
soul.
Yeah, you notice he's got that rope, he's got the belt. He always takes that to him to the ring in there, and don't say he doesn't use it because you know it's one of the...
I hope he's watching the clock, Jimmy Jack, because 60 seconds is about gone.
Oh, shut up.
And the situation has been laid down by Eddie Marlin.
What's he going to do about it?
Well, here
If
he
Jeff
comes
Jarrett
out
could
here
beat him up and take it, he would have done it by now. To think otherwise is foolishness.
Your face. You lost the match. You lost the belt.
This sissy boy never beat me.
He beat you, and everybody was in the ring.
Mhm.
And then you stole the belt.
I never stole nothing in my life.
You stole the belt at the arena, and I want the belt back. He's got to be presented with the belt.
You think I'm just going to give this to you?
You
think I'm going to hand this to you?
Give it up or it'll be gone.
You want this belt?
You're mighty right.
Oh, yes, finally. Finally. Oh, man. He really had that coming, let's be real. Oh man, we're gonna get a hot finish. You really like the poster? It's definitely like a legendary wrestle crap moment. Hey Randy, what's up? Do you think that's hey Robot Glock, is that kind of like George Dorunda getting with Carolyn Lee in the early 2000s? Oh man, we're gonna get a warning. People are gonna have to click that they know help is available. Oh man. Eddie Marlin is really getting it today. One more. Ooh, yeah. Oh man, he is tearing Eddie Marlin up. This is really getting out of hand. Hey, Amelia Stewart. Man, what a wild angle. You like the Dorunda and Lee coupling? That's fair. I mean, he definitely is really, really into her. Man, what a brawl. Boy, I guess. Man, Eddie Marlin, man, you can't.
Oh. Now we got Dundee with hot stuff in his eyes, and
I gotta get a drink. I'll be right back.
Off that rope in there, boy. I gotta tell you. Yeah, okay. Let's get ready to go. We got a match coming up in the ring. We'll keep track and bring you up to date on Billy and Jeff, and let's get them out.
Hey, Bob Brown. Man, Eddie really took a beating, man. Wow. Okay, I feel like I'm on level ground with Eddie now. I feel like he has been properly punished for his transgressions, and we can begin anew. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt until, you know, we need to do otherwise.
Thompson out of Arkansas, 270 pounds.
My Mont Blanc tasting cup.
Jaggers out of Kansas City, Kansas. And he weighs in at 275.
Bethadone shouted out my Mont Blanc tasting cup in a video. She's like, well, my cup's not as fancy as shout out Mark Fusion's.
I'm going to go check on Jeff.
Yeah, okay. Bobby Jaggers, knee to the midsection of Thompson. These two guys just about seen.
Oh my God, the Freezer Thompson.
Weight-wise, Bobby Jaggers about 5 pounds heavier, but
I can't believe a gimmick, a knockoff of William the Refrigerator Perry has lasted for like a year and a half. He's interesting just to watch because he has a kind of an unusual body type.
He's got it down. Count is 1, 2. This one is also over very, very quickly. Second match in a row that we've had here that have been under 30 seconds. This one went 29 seconds as Bobby Jaggers.
I said hi to Amelia, I think, didn't I?
And Nathaniel Whitlock, better known as Nate the Rat, head out of here after the victory.
Nate the Rat.
William the Freezer Thompson being helped out of the ring by Jerry Calhoun. And
oh, wow.
that is the way that one goes. The win goes to Bobby Jaggers in less than 30 seconds. We're going to be back here with more of championship wrestling action for you in just a moment.
How rude. No, I'm sure I did. I tried to anyway, to say hi to everybody.
Did I tell you? I mean, excitement.
Positivity coming out of the boy. I'm not 100% sure, to be fair. I definitely mentally saw it, registered it, and I thought I did, but I also was thinking that I needed a drink too, so I might have skipped over it.
85 Lincoln right up against the titles, and the Rockers have said if we win that, we're going to give it away also, just like the Diamond
Oh,
Ring.
that's your missus?
In addition to that, Jeff Jarrett has assured me it doesn't make any difference what it takes.
Yes.
He will be there to go against Jimmy.
Eddie Marlin did wrong. He has, you know, he's paid his penance.
Jack Funk. Bill Dundee, you better believe he's going to be after that dip-throwing Hector Guerrero come Wednesday night.
That what throwing?
And a loser of the fall leaves town. Boy, this means bye-bye to somebody. Want to get Paul Diamond in here because he and Pat Tanaka are going against Don Bass and King Carl Fergie in there.
G'day, how's it going? I don't know how to say that. Is that
whoever
a
loses the
Reese?
fall, they're gone.
A former drug addict,
It's
Paul
not just that.
Diamond.
I'm going to explain a little bit to the people. This kind of match, what you're putting on the line is your pride and also your livelihood.
Yeah, Eddie
losing
paid
your
his
job, and also the embarrassment throughout the wrestling world. Well, Prince, we wanted to eliminate you on the commission. And this thing has come to a head. And now is the time, baby, when the dust settles and the smoke clears, bad company's still going to be standing here. And the commission is going to be gone.
You better be out there to say bye-bye.
So they're
to somebody.
officially
One of those four
not
guys will be
prime
on
time
the
anymore.
road. Wednesday night, just a big
They're
night
now
for you to be
officially
out there.
like
Come on
bad
out.
company
Team
since they
match
left the
coming up
commission,
right
I guess.
The referee is in the ring. Now we're waiting for everybody else to get in here. That's King Carl Fergie out here at ringside.
King Carl, come on, brother.
Get him out of here. Here come the four people who are going to be on one side of the ring, the Executioners.
The Executioners?
With Nate the Rat, their manager. Blue Knight under a blue mask, and the only
and the Blue
unmasked
Knight is
person,
back. Okay.
on this side of the ring. Keith Robertson.
I know many were asking
Parts unknown except Robertson.
for
He's out
a
of
Blue
Memphis,
Knight second
Tennessee.
chance.
Their total weight of 909
It had to be intimidating working with Lawler.
Across the way, there's the music. The Rockers shouldn't be far behind. They'll be going with Pat Tanaka, Paul Diamond. Here they come. Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, the Midnight Rockers. Bad Company. Their total weight, that can't be right. 972 pounds. That's 6
Yeah, Nate the Rat, whoever that is. They keep talking about him.
That wouldn't work out. 972 their total weight. This will be a match to the
You think this is going to be a
expiration of
redemption
time.
arc for the Blue Knight?
We always wish him good luck in an 8-man match because he needs it, having to watch, in this case, not 8 but 9 with Nathaniel Whitlock down here at ringside.
Okay, we're off and running with Tanaka and one of the Executioners going at it, Randy.
Lance, I thought I should come out. You know, long before I was involved in the promotion, I watched this TV show every week, Faithful Viewer. I've seen a lot of things happen on championship wrestling, as you have over the years. Today, I feel I have to comment on something.
I figured this was the expiration of time match, but it isn't. I don't think it is anymore.
He called back, and one of his eyes is, he can't see out of it, Lance. And he has sight in the other one, but
I think wrestling is pretty much now the #1 show, unless I do a Ben or Grace.
I believe that. I'll tell you, he's
A
coming.
Bethadone episode would probably do
as much
really good, really well as well.
and he'll be there for the matches.
How about Jeff?
Jeff, we got him out of here almost immediately. As a matter of fact,
Duranda has lost the crowd, though, at this point,
as
unfortunately.
soon as they could, because that was a situation that was as risky as any I've ever seen, Lance. I was scared to death. It was a desperation thing, that crazy funk. And,
72 on a weekend.
as I told you, the thing
Oh, here comes Roberson.
was to suspend the guy. But Jeff
Hey,
had
Avery.
more desire and more heart. And he said, hey, that was just like
Run along, Jimmy Jack Funk. You've done your damage. Jeff wants a chance at him. He will get his chance. He'll have a match team, but Jeff Jarrett is going to go right ahead after.
Big leg drop.
I don't think winning.
Wow, crotch in the face pin.
The most serious thing that's ever to happen to him, and a terrible thing to happen to anybody.
Let's get the Blue Knight in here. Here we go.
Rope with a noose in it and a bell on the other end of the
Is that Bill Dundee in a blonde wig?
Brother, he uses it, and he certainly put it up there. And it also makes me hot. He slams Eddie in the head with the belt, busts his head open. In addition to that, he hits him in the head with that cowbell and split his head open.
Yeah, I'm in for the long haul on prime time.
Thank you, Randy.
I got to see it
Very
through.
much. Randy Hale's giving us a little update on both Billy. Good move by Jannetty, and look at that teaming. Do they not work well together?
Well, these guys are dynamite. The Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. One sets him up, and the other one goes to work on him.
We have probably like a month of Dorinda left, and then that'll be...
Yeah, well, Keith Robertson's unhappy. He said they were double teamed.
That'll be it.
Paul Diamond in after a tag.
2 more weeks of Memphis, and we'll be done with 87.
Snap suplex. Let me tell you, that takes some upper body strength to do that. He got him down for a count of 2. Paul picked him up, I think. I don't think the Knight broke that.
Did you see the Blue Knight against Lawler, Randy? It was a real lousy match.
We'll see how it works out.
Oh!
Back to Naka, the other half of that. We'll see how it works out.
Ooh! My God, dude. I need just the second lead up on that. Let's get a look at this thing. Here we go. Ooh, man.
He wanted to get Tanaka a shot at him, too.
He took it. Let me tell you.
Man.
Big chop. Over to the corner. Shawn Michaels of the Midnight Rockers back in now. The Blue Knight reaching for a tag. He's looking for help wherever he can find it.
His lifeless body.
I can't say that I blame him, because I'll tell you, those are 4 very, very capable guys on the far side of the ring from the Executioners.
Yeah, of course he won. He cut the match super short, though, because it was just... Blue Knight was awful.
You've got 4 guys that can go.
It looked like he chopped him in the middle of the face.
Does a little revolving door. It took them all out of there. Neil Robinson, the 2 Executioners, and then pulls the Blue Knight back out across the ring. Makes a tag back on his partner. Shawn Michaels climbing up the rope and dropping down with the elbow on the arm.
These guys are just 2 knockoffs of the original rock and roll tag team.
Shawn Michaels with an arm bar on the Blue Knight.
Arm security in the back.
Fight him off. He used a right hand. Shawn Michaels has him down to the mat. He got a 2 count. Couldn't make it stick for 3.
What's happening
Down to
here?
2 again. He just doesn't have enough of his own weight over the Blue Knight to be able to hold him down. You got to.
Wait, Bad Company are baby faces?
And it was just too slight for Shawn Michaels to hold him down.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Look out, Robertson, Executioners all working on Shawn Michaels over in the corner. The referee trying to get him out of there. He does. Shawn Michaels helps himself out of there.
Oh, but just because they split off from Brickhouse Brown.
Back a little bit.
Little jawing back and forth.
Yeah.
I know, man.
Between Michaels and Robertson.
Paul Diamond to me is permanently heel at this point. He's never going to be a baby face for me. He's turned too many times. Former drug addict Paul Diamond permanently heel to Fusion Studios.
Tell you who is out of Texas, though. Shawn Michaels. San Antonio.
San Antonio. Marty Jannetty's from Columbus, Georgia.
He waits. The Executioner finds himself up in the air and body slammed by Shawn Michaels.
Cicero the Cat in the ring.
Shawn over close to the corner. See if he goes for a tag. He does. Pat Tanaka will be coming in.
Tanaka said, oh boy, let me at him. And he went after him right away. Bing, bing, into the corner.
Oh, wow.
Tanaka ran right into the turnbuckles and bounced out of there. Executioner.
I think it's rude to treat a guest from the beautiful state of Hawaii the way that they're treating Pat Tanaka right now.
Snaps him down.
Boy, he manages.
Can we get the Blue Knight back in? Oh, man.
See how he got under and kept his weight low and just snap rolled him over there. Beautiful move on that suplex.
Keith Robertson is complaining that everything that's going on in there is illegal. Nate the Rat says disqualify him. I don't know what they're all so upset about. They're making the change over in the corner.
Is this really just a facade? For some people, it might be.
Double teaming or anything.
They're getting beat. That's what they're upset about.
I think you got it. I think they got it. Shawn Michaels.
Especially the Jeff Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, the poster.
A boot to the midsection.
Boot to the midsection.
Jabbed him in the throat with a fist. Keith Robertson takes a shot at him.
Hey, Gobbledygook, did you see that video of Joy where she was sitting on the street talking to the camera and like pulling her leg up? That was an amazing video. That was wild content to see.
Michaels put him into the turnbuckles.
Yeah, we got Vinny going to McDonald's. We have a special, another Vinny, a shorter Vinny video.
You watch fundamental moves like that, and
it's going to be tough. I have so much stuff. I wish I had time to show more of it, but I'll try to make it a whale of a show.
Boy, you can bet. This is a guy that did his homework and learned his trade.
Executioner reaching for the tag, both of them. You see them, they were about a foot and a half apart.
Marty Jannetty, I think, wants to keep it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Jannetty back on the rope, fired across. Oh, he set himself.
Different era, man. Different era.
Wow. Tell you what, Jannetty and Michaels, most impressive. Not only with the moves we see out of them, but their balance, their thinking, they're smart. You can win a lot of wrestling matches that way.
Well, they have the other ingredient, too. They work so well together as a team. Now, we don't just give lip service to that, but it is a fact. They do think, and they work together and be sure they use the best potential that they have in there. Former World Tag Champions.
Are you avoiding the question about if you saw the Jedi Joy short she made in the street?
Oh, boy, they got caught from behind by the Executioner as he was coming back into the ring after chasing Nate the Rat.
Nate the Rat.
Outside, went flipping around the edge, and as Marty came back.
Every chicken option on the menu.
The Executioner reverse neck breaker.
Did you see the footage he put up of himself going to sleep? He sleeps like literally, like directly next to a television set. It was absolutely wild.
But Keith Robertson makes a 1-2, and that's all. That's the first count, though, that I think they've had on any of the opposing teams. There's the tag.
That is the closest they had been.
Hey, Dad, they sent us 2 posters by accident. And the dad's like, I didn't order that. And the mom's like,
oh, look at that.
That is 1, 2, 3. Teamwork is what did it.
Teamwork is what did it.
Man, was that some teamwork and a half.
Incredible. That was, in fact, incredible. 10 minutes, 2 seconds the time.
We got to get out of here. Be back in just a minute.
Wow, look at that teamwork.
That is, in terms of wrestling parlance, with boy, some spiffy action with these guys. I love to see.
Yeah, Vinny, man, that shot of the
give them their credit. Disagree on
fire truck, I can't hype it enough. It looks like you could. It looks like you could just walk through it. Like it's like just a.
I like to see that.
It just looks like it's almost like too real to be real. You know, like an It looks like it's an oasis.
The other good one is they came out victorious in there and really teamed it up to get it on the end. You know, Dave, I was sitting here thinking about today. We've had goodness gracious, a lot of days and a lot of incidents happen. But I'm thinking about stuff like Hector doing the hair thing.
Man,
and
remember that chop he took? Oh,
Jim
my
Jameson
God.
said, I'm thinking about him throwing that hot sauce right in the eyes of Bill Dundee. I'm thinking about, I can't even believe what
threw
Jimmy
the chili
Jack Funk did
in his
with
face.
that hanging in there. And it's a whole different thing than some of the things that we've had before.
Well, yeah, we've had cake fights and stuff like that, and
We've
mustard
had cake fights,
and
but
concession
salsa,
stands and stuff. But
never
that's
salsa.
Different. I mean, that's not
Jalapeno?
anywhere in the same league as what we saw.
Total one idea.
Dave is recording this in like a
injure
serious
somebody,
voice, like
and
he's
I mean,
telling
in the
people to
case
evacuate their
in
homes
particular
for a
with-
tornado.
With Jeff Jarrett in there, let's injure him as bad as we can. Let's hang him.
No
out there.
excuse whatsoever.
For those who might have missed it, Dundee was out here joying and saying, hey, if you don't like America, why don't you leave it? And all of a sudden, bang, take a look.
Yeah.
Bang.
Billy's turning to go away.
Hey, Bill, get a load of
Hector
this.
with that stuff right in
Then the OPC noises.
And Randy updated us on it. They got water in it. But I think probably his left eye was the one that is still in bad shape because he caught, it looked like most of it right there in that face.
I haven't seen Bruno at all in
I mean,
weeks.
the guy had, and I can tell you that sauce hot.
Weeks on the
Plenty
show,
of
I mean.
jalapeno and a lot of other hot sauce and all that kind of stuff in there. But then, even worse than that, Jimmy Jack Funk, who stole the belt after Jeff Jarrett won it. Eddie Marlin told him to get it out here. He had 1 minute to do it. He brought it out here. He bangs Eddie in the head and busts his head open.
My God.
And then he gets Jeff Jarrett up in the ring, and he's going to hang him. And, boy, I'll tell you, he did a good job of it. Let's take a look. Look at this. He takes Jeff and suspends him. He locks
This
his
was a
leg
good.
underneath
This had a
the,
lot of heat on it.
Underneath the turnbuckles. He takes that rope with the hangman's
Let's get a play-by-play
knot in
of
one
the
end
of
and
the
that cowbell
of
in
the news
other end.
application.
And here's a guy who weighs 265 pounds. He straightens Jeff out from the corner. Now, I mean, what he's straightening him out with is with a rope around his neck.
Here comes Eddie
And
Marlin.
he's out there jerking away on him, pulling it. Eddie's going to kind of come up in here. He
Man,
takes
that
the
was
bell on
sweet.
the end of that thing and bangs Eddie again with it, knocks him down.
He doesn't get the message.
Still holding on to, and look
Here
at
he
that.
comes back
He
again.
is holding Jeff Jarrett out from the
Boom.
corner with that rope around his neck.
Fantastic.
Absolutely just, oh boy, I got to tell you, it just has no compunctions about doing stuff like that in the world, and irritates the stew out of me. I can understand what they're talking about. Leave him here where somebody will get a crack like Jeff had
Oh
a
my
crack at him.
God.
But
What a
boy, I
great
tell you,
angle.
Well, now about that carrying on, let's take a look at what else happened today.
Well, and Hector and Manny Fernandez, the Mexican connection in here, they won their match in about a minute and a half. Then all of that business with Dundee after Dundee had won his match handily too in less than 30 seconds, and then Guerrero took that hot stuff and threw it in his face, as you just saw again. Jimmy Jack Funk defeated John Paul. That's why he was out here to begin with. He had a match scheduled in the ring, which he won over John Paul, but he
Hot
won,
sauce
to
to
point out, by
the
jumping him
eyes.
from behind. So it was not an honorable victory for Mr. Funk there either. Hangman Bobby Jaggers out against the very large William the Freezer Thompson. Jaggers won that one in about 30 seconds, and then this one almost made up. Well,
Joy's
quite,
Manhattan
but
tongue.
almost made up for what had happened the rest of the day with that 8-man tag team match. Boy, did we see some action.
Are you talking about
from
her
Pat Tanaka,
just
Paul
sticking her
Diamond,
tongue out
and
all
the
the
Midnight
time?
Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, as they got the victory in just over 10 minutes over the team of the Executioners, Keith Robertson, the Blue Knight, and Nate the Rat, one Nathaniel
Nate the
Whitlock
Rat.
over in their corner.
Yeah, and did a good job of it, too. Well, the only thing I can say is about guys like Jimmy Jack Funk and Jaggers and all of these guys.
Jimmy
is,
Jack Funk,
They think,
ugh.
they're the first ones to scream when somebody starts getting bad.
Absolutely.
First ones to holler the loudest.
The loudest, uh-huh.
Okay, we'll be back next week. We won't be in a bad mood either. We'll be looking for it. For Dave Brown, Lance Russell.
Yeah, I
say
bet,
bye-bye,
Lance.
Everybody.
Been enjoying Lolcat Rejects a lot recently. All right, so if you're just here for Memphis, we'll be back next Friday to continue with that. But I actually want to listen to some, and this might be of interest if you like old school wrestling, maybe adjacent. But Jim Cornette is deposing that guy. Has been having Stephen P. New depose that guy from that podcast one or whatever. And I kind of want to watch some of those. Okay, here we go. Whoops. Oh, no. There we go. I've listened to it every once in a while, but not like a lot. Here we go. So if you don't know, Colin Thompson and his company basically allegedly screwed over Cornette and a bunch of other people, Brendan Schaub and a bunch of other podcasters, over money, and everybody else kind of moved on from it because it was expensive to move forward. But Jim Cornette and Brian Last funded this entire thing so that they could go into discovery and deposition and all that kind of stuff. So this is their lawyer, Stephen P. New, representing them in the bankruptcy as the bankruptcy creditor. Well, tomorrow's Boyd Watch, so we'll have a ample savvy
let's
guy.
Look at expenses. Auto expense, $1,328.32. Tell me what that is.
That is a vehicle.
Which vehicle?
Which vehicle? That is a...
I think we watched Heroes of Wrestling, the one where Jake Roberts is drunk at the end. I think we did a watch along of that.
I believe that was a Mercedes G Series.
Is it titled in Cast's name?
No, that vehicle is not in Cast's name.
In whose name is the vehicle that this auto expense is paid for titled?
I believe is my name.
I believe.
Is this the only auto expense Cast Media Inc. has paid for you?
No.
What other auto expenses has Cast paid for you?
There's a different Mercedes and there's a Tesla. And those are the two that I can directly recall.
Does Cast continue to pay your Mercedes G-Wagon payment?
No.
So this guy wrote off as an expense 2 Mercedes, a Tesla, and 2 cars that he can't even remember.
Did Cast last pay your Mercedes G-Wagon payment?
I've heard that Stephen P. New does get pretty saucy at times during these, but I mean that's, I don't know for sure. I haven't listened to it.
I think probably before the petition date.
Do you still own the Mercedes G-Wagon?
No.
Did you let it go back?
What does that mean?
Did you let Mercedes or a lending company repossess the G-Wagon?
No.
Where is the G-Wagon now?
I sold it.
You sold it?
Yep.
When did you sell it?
I think towards the beginning of this year.
Early 2024?
Yeah, sometime in probably Q1 of 2024.
Was it financed at the time that Cast was paying the $1,328.32 auto expense?
I believe so.
Where was it financed through?
I'd have to look, but probably, I think it was Bank of America, but I'm not sure.
All right. Did you get more out of it than was owed on it when you sold it Q1 24?
Did I get more out of it than was owed on it?
Yes.
Yes.
By how much?
I don't recall the exact number.
Regardless of how much you got when you sold the Mercedes G-Wagon, did you reimburse Cast for its payments of your Mercedes G-Wagon expense?
No.
You pocketed that money from the sale of the Mercedes G-Wagon, correct?
Objection argumentative.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. You kept the money from the sale of the Mercedes G-Wagon.
You didn't reimburse. In other words, you didn't reimburse Cast.
So I already said that I didn't reimburse Cast.
All right. And you kept it, though, right? As opposed to doing something else with it.
I don't know what you mean.
Like
I didn't reimburse.
Like pay a debt, pay somebody that you might owe money.
I didn't reimburse Cast.
Nor did you pay any other debt that Cast might have had. Correct?
That would have been reimbursing Cast.
Indirectly. Right? To pay one of Cast's debts?
That would have been reimbursing Cast.
Well, no. If you think that's what it was, I'll accept that answer. Well, let's talk about the other vehicles that Cast paid for you. No, before we get off of the G-Wagon, how long did Cast make your G-Wagon payment?
I don't remember exactly when. Probably since sometime in 2021.
Okay. Now, the different Mercedes, what kind of Mercedes was that?
The different Mercedes?
Can you imagine like multiple 7-hour plus sessions of just being grilled by this lawyer?
I believe that was a C series.
And in whose name was the C series Mercedes?
I think it was in my name.
And for what period of time did Cast make the payment on the C series?
I think it would have been probably from maybe 2020 through 2023 or something like that.
And what was the disposition of that?
What was the disposition of that?
Yes.
That was a lease, so the lease ran up.
Was that a lease directly through Mercedes-Benz?
I think so.
And the Tesla. In whose name was the Tesla titled?
I think it was in my name.
I think. Come on, man.
And how long did Cast make the Tesla payment on your behalf?
Probably about a year.
Yeah, this is a civil case, but I think they're preparing or hoping to be able to pursue a criminal case as well.
When?
From the end of, or the beginning of 2023 to the end of 2023.
Was that a lease or a purchase?
That was a purchase.
And what was the disposition of the Tesla?
I still have the Tesla.
Is that what you drive in St. Louis?
Yeah, I drive the Tesla.
More to come on the Arcadian Vanguard. This one is called the Logan Paul reaction.
Even with Podcast One, buying out some of your other podcast partners to the tune of $2.5 million, you still had to file bankruptcy and put Cast Media Inc. in bankruptcy, didn't you, Mr. Thompson?
What's the question? My
question is, despite Podcast One paying some of your podcast partners upwards of $2.5 million, you still had to file Cast into bankruptcy, didn't you?
Cast did file bankruptcy.
Yes. So the benefit that everybody got as a result of this Podcast One deal didn't prevent Cast from having to file bankruptcy, did it?
Cast did file bankruptcy.
Right. Despite the deal from Podcast One.
Cast did file bankruptcy.
All right. And the $4.759 million is what you owe everybody else who didn't take the $2.5 million Podcast One deal, correct?
This is our accounts payable summary.
Yeah, and that's what you listed. If you want to look at your petition, I believe that's what you list as what Cast owed, correct?
Yeah, that's an accounts payable summary.
All right. And just so that the record is clear, on page 1 of that document, you have Brian Last, $250,442.79.
He's just this guy is just like a podcast guy, but he screwed over a wrestling manager.
Correct?
I think it's 248.
Thomas White, are you all the way back
No,
on the Jeff Jarrett poster?
CBS Interactive Inc.
I'm showing
Brian Last, $250,442.79, correct?
Yes, I believe that.
And like everybody else kind of moved on except for that wrestling manager. And then he's like, him and his business partner are funding the case.
Sorry.
All right. What'd you owe Logan Paul? I was curious. There's about $350,000, right?
I guess if he is that far back, he
with
won't be
Logan
able to
Paul,
hear me, right?
correct? 336,714.
What's the question?
You owed
And
Logan
then he'll
Paul
hear what I just said. but he'll hear it way later, probably like after
$336,714,
the
correct?
stream's over.
So, Cass debt to payable balance with Impulsive with Logan Paul was a total of $336,714.27 as of March 13th, 2024.
All right, and this document also tells us that the $250,442.79 had been owed to Brian Last, Arcadian Vanguard, and Jim Cornette for 91 days or more at that point, correct?
Yes.
I always forget to put the little like next video things in cards or whatever on my videos. This one's called, okay, Howie Mandel's Warehouse.
Does Cast file tax returns in the state of Delaware?
I believe so.
Does Cast file tax returns in the state of California?
I believe so.
State of California.
I think they were claiming some kind of like they were paying them a flat rate, and then that way they could sell the advertising for the show and keep what they could, you know what I mean, and keep the difference. And that's what they promised a bunch of podcasters, but they ended up like screwing everybody over, allegedly.
California would still be considered Cast's principal place of business, would it not?
Yes.
And does Cast have
Are you pro Joy
like an
being
actual
more
office
tongue,
here in
or
California
are you pro
somewhere?
less tongue?
Our operations are based out of the address on file on our documents, the Havenhurst.
All right. 7111 Havenhurst Avenue, Van Nuys, California 91406.
Office furniture drama.
Describe that location for me.
That is a warehouse studio location.
How large?
The building is very large. I have no.
This is honestly also what happens when someone has the motivation and the money to actually do LOL suits. Like everybody else dropped this except for Cornette and Brian Last, and they like funded it so that they could get the deposition and then all that kind of stuff. Like I just think it's amazing. Like it's literally like a vendetta lawsuit, but I mean it's a valid one. But like it's seeing someone take that personal grudge and actually do the stuff that all of our people always say they're gonna do but never do.
No idea how large.
Does Cast have business offices and studios at 7111 Havenhurst Avenue?
I got that coming tomorrow, Rush.
We have
that's a great short
an office space and an arrangement to
so
be able
happy
to access the studio for our needs, for our recording needs.
Does Cast rent space at 7111 Havenhurst Avenue, Van Nuys?
No.
Is that space provided gratis?
That was part of a settlement where we agreed that Cast would continue.
Hey, Distinction, this is a deposition by Jim Cornette's lawyer of a podcast company that allegedly screwed him over.
To have access to it.
It's like a real-life lull suit, except he's in the right, but like he's pursuing it mostly for like personal reasons.
Reasonable access to it for a period of time after our lease was up with them.
And when was that settlement reached?
I saw it's me earlier in the chat.
I think it would have been early 2023.
What was the nature of the dispute such that a settlement had to be reached?
We were not making as significant usage of the space as we expected to. We had a few months left on the lease, and so thereby we had a liability there for the remainder of the months left on the lease. So we did a settlement that gave us, we did a settlement that gave us usage of it.
Yeah, like if you want an in-depth look at the story behind it, if you go to Jim Cornette's official page, he's got a playlist of like hours of them breaking everything down like into complete minutia about the situation.
Like I described.
But it is very, very
Do I take it that you were behind in rent that at the 7111 Havenhurst Avenue, Van Nuys, in the first quarter or so, 2023?
I don't know if we were behind in rent or not.
Then explain why the settlement was needed.
Because we still had several months left on the lease where we would have to continue to make monthly payments.
And so you wanted some relief from
with the family?
having to pay those
And
remaining
Jedi
months on the lease, correct?
Gangster Gloria.
Is that yes?
Yes.
And what was the rent amount?
I believe it was around $11,000 a month.
And how many months remained that Cast needed relief from when the settlement was reached?
I don't recall. Exactly. I'd have to look at the document.
6 months?
May have been. I'm not sure.
What
He kinda
document
looks like
would
Christopher
tell you
Daniels wearing a
how many
toupee.
months remained on the lease that Cast needed relief from the $11,000 a month rent payment in the first quarter or thereabouts 2023?
There is the lease contract that would show when the lease was up. And then there would be the settlement, which would show at what point we decided to move forward with the settlement deal.
And so the terms of the settlement were that you didn't have to pay however many remaining months there were on the lease, and you got to stay in the location gratis, correct?
I feel like I could party
those were
with
some of the
Gloria,
terms.
but I could also party with Joy. I feel like I'd get along with each of them.
And I take it that that settlement agreement relative to the 7111 Havenhurst Avenue, Van Nuys, California, provided Cast with some financial relief. Took some pressure off, right?
We would have saved money on the remainder of the lease.
Took some pressure off of Cast from a financial standpoint, correct?
Asked and answered you.
Gobbledygook, do you remember the time that I was like super high in the Jedi chat and I told him that I was going to come out to the Jedi temple and marry Gloria so that I could broker peace? Oh yeah, I forgot I turned it up because I thought this would be quieter than it is.
You may answer one more time.
Yeah, we saved some money on the ongoing lease payment.
Not only did you save money, you didn't have to put out any rent money from roughly first quarter
Judge Cedric
2023
Simpson.
up through the present, correct?
Yeah, from when we signed the settlement up to present.
We need to do
So
daytime
it's
court
not
shows
just
sometime
the
if I can
rent
find some more of them.
that you're saving. You're not paying rent anywhere to operate Cast. Is that a fair statement, Mr. Thompson?
Yeah, correct.
So Cast Media Inc. is still in operation at 7111 Havenhurst Avenue, Van Nuys, correct?
Yes.
Fixed asset, other tools, equipment, $72,408.
That's probably true. I mean, I listened to it all play out live. Like it is like just insanely, intensely personal.
$89.31. What's that? What are the fixed assets, other tools, equipment of Cast Media Inc. as of January 31, 2024?
I don't know.
Office furniture, $29,385.81. What's that?
I don't know.
Where is that? Since you don't know what that is on the balance sheet, where is the office furniture that's valued at $29,385.81, Mr. Thompson?
I would assume that would have been part of the settlement agreement that we already discussed with the lease, the place that we were renting.
What's a settlement agreement with Howie Mandel have to do with $29,385.81 worth of furniture that you list as an asset of Cast Media as of January 31, 2024?
Man, office furniture drama.
Made a deal, part of the settlement deal for the remainder of what we owed.
They shut me down though.
For the remainder of that lease was that we would do essentially a trade of
Those
equal
were great,
value. That would be the equipment for the remainder of what we owed the lease. So they got the use of the equipment. We didn't have to pay the remainder of the lease.
We could watch it on Twitch, but not on YouTube.
We continue to have access to the office and the studio, thereafter for a specified period.
Also, if you're watching this in the future because you're here from the review for the 25 milligram enlivened chocolate chip cookie, it thumbs up.
Period of time.
It hits pretty good for only being 25 milligram.
Furniture that went to Howie Mandel or his company or whomever in 2023 as an asset.
Yeah, there's ATF Media was explaining it to me earlier. There's like a dispute over $30,000 worth of furniture that Colin Thompson claims that he was like writing off, I think, as a business expense.
Of Cast Media Inc. in January of 2024.
I don't know.
Shouldn't be on there, should it?
I don't know.
You should know. You're the CEO.
Okay, we're going to stop this now. You're badgering the witness. You're telling him what he should and shouldn't know. He's answered the question already. For you to scold him and tell him what he should and shouldn't know is not productive.
Put a good non-speaking objection on the record, Ms. Cohen.
My objection is you're badgering the witness.
I'm not badgering. I'm not Wolverining. I'm not any other rodent Mr. Thompson. Put a good non-speaking objection on the record.
Objection, badgering.
Badgering isn't even an objection. I promise this will be like a CLE. We'll get through the federal rules of evidence, federal rules of civil procedure, and everything else today. Mr. Thompson, if you made a deal whereby Howie Mandel or his company or whomever got this $29,385 worth of furniture in 2023, it shouldn't be listed as an asset in a bankruptcy petition as of January 2024, correct?
I don't know. We would have to investigate that.
All right. We will. Studio equipment.
Man, that was some heat.
$24,748.26. Tell me about that.
That is under our fixed assets.
The total current assets.
Oh yeah, but fixed assets under total current assets. No, it's not under.
Nope, it's not under total fixed assets. Was the studio equipment part of the deal with Howie Mandel?
It is under fixed assets. Was the studio equipment part of the deal with Howie Mandel? We gave.
Welcome back. It's me.
Our landlord.
We've had a request. Could you
furniture
remind us how
in
much
that
you're
settlement
owed?
agreement.
We're watching a legal deposition.
So this $24,748.26 was part of the 2023 deal with Howie Mandel or his company, correct?
I don't know. I would have to go back and investigate.
All right. And if I ask you the same question about why equipment that was a part of a 2023 settlement is still listed as a cast media asset, you can't answer that question, can you?
Objection. Miscast the witness's prior testimony.
Nope. You said, I don't know, I'll have to check, I'll have to get back to you, that kind of thing with respect to office furniture. I'm asking, is your question the same relative to studio equipment at $24,748.26?
Is my question the same?
Is your answer the same?
Correct. I would have to look at the detail and investigate.
All right, so let's make sure Cast Media doesn't own office furniture or studio
even willing to compromise on price and offer a discount in these trying economic times.
I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware that we own equipment outside of what we provided as part of that settlement agreement.
So why is it listed as an asset?
I don't know, but it's possible that it wasn't updated in the accounting software.
All right. Anything else on this page that hasn't been updated?
I don't know.
Oh, look at this. We got the actual receipts. As a result of Mr. Thompson's frivolous spending and bad agreements, I was told he had also stopped paying rent for the Havenhurst location for 8 months. Toward the end of his time there in, I believe, 2022 or perhaps early 2023, I was told by a person with inside knowledge that Mr. Thompson had brought investors into Havenhurst Studios to show them around. The owner of the property has security cameras everywhere and overheard Mr. Thompson telling the potential investors that Mr. Thompson owned the property and that Howie Mandel was renting the space from Mr. Thompson. Upon this, Mr. Mandel's team told Colin to vacate the building and that he was no longer allowed to conduct business there. Wow. Incredible. What an absolute mess. Are you willing to invest maybe like 25 grand to hire Stephen P. New to secure that $306?
Well, let's spend the last 10-15 minutes talking about your wife. For what periods of time was Christine Thompson employed by Cast?
From around 2020 through 2022, end of 2022.
And how much did she earn?
I don't remember exactly.
Is it set forth in the payroll summaries that you've provided to us?
Yeah.
They just had an update on a Cornette episode the other day that was talking about he's back in the podcast business now.
Here's another charge.
I'll have to put a playlist together. Maybe I'll do an entire HFF cooking stream.
$2,765 on your city card in March of 2023, Mr. Thompson, correct?
It says 2675.
2675?
Yep.
And that's Bates number Cast 2052.
I lost chat. Day
What
after
is
day
North
chicken.
Mill Capital?
I love the loops of our favorite TV stars.
Sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
Bathroom beef,
You know
kitchen
why
chicken.
they would have gotten $983?
Gangster Gloria, her niece.
$823.
Gangster Gloria got a bigger TV than we have at
Any
Fusion
East
Studios.
West bank statements?
No.
Hey, Bob Brown. What about buying the $100 Mr. Stinky Brew debt from the Jedi? Wow, what a generous offer that is.
Do you know why there would have been a wire transfer, Christine Thompson, $176,000?
That leaves plenty of meat on the bone.
Statements.
It's me.
That would have been.
You know, your username might be it's me, but really, to you, it's all about helping other people.
Taken as compensation and included in the 1099 amount.
To Christine Thompson?
Yeah.
I think that's what I have. Gobbledygook. Well, no, I think
I'll
mine's
show you the $176,000 wire.
It might be.
To Christine Thompson.
It's of that level.
What is that? October of 21?
1026.
All right. And so there
$300 debt to
should be
OPC. That's fake news.
1099
That's made up.
To her.
Never happened.
reflecting
I
at
can't.
least
Yeah,
that,
no.
correct?
I don't really follow Nick Rekieta.
No, that was taken as my own income. It's only labeled, that was taken as my own income, my income on my 1099. It was only labeled Christine Thompson because the transfer went into her bank account, the bank account with her name on it.
I think Rich and Joy gave him $100
So
when he
that's not
needed some
her
alcohol.
Income, that was your income, correct?
Yes.
Did Cass put any more of your income into her bank?
The picture of this guy and the cornet, the thumbnail artwork of him, he's just a cartoon weasel.
Account?
I don't.
Other than this 176 grand?
I don't remember specific transactions.
Where did she bank?
I think Bank of America.
Colin and the Money, the rise and lies of Cast Media. I love it. This is like high level A-logging of like the best type. Is there another one? I think there's another one, right? Oh yeah, it's just got some empty space at the end. Well, now I feel... Okay, there we go. Okay, so this one is really short, but it's apparently just about the payments to his wife.
TD Ameritrade. Why did Cast Media have a TD Ameritrade account?
I don't know.
Where are you, Mr. New?
Under total fixed assets, other assets, TD Ameritrade.
Thank you.
Did Cast Media Inc. trade in stocks?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Why would a TD Ameritrade account be listed in assets belonging to Cast Media Inc.?
I don't know.
Shouldn't you know as the CEO of that corporation?
Objection argumentative.
I don't know.
Who's the best person?
Oh, thank you,
from
Distinction.
Cast Media Inc. When we do part 2
Fusion
or part
Studios
3
forever.
of this deposition to ask Mr. Thompson?
I don't know.
You don't even know who within your corporation would be the best person to
Much appreciated,
answer the
man.
question, why is there a TD Ameritrade account listed as an asset of your corporation?
One of the accountants.
Give me their names again.
I think you have them. Michael Calabretta.
Brian Last is going to demand
Carolina
10%.
Costa, Emily Pender.
He's got to
Crimson
wet his
Manley,
beak on these
Now
donos.
CFO. Eric Wissig.
Anybody else?
I think that's the list of people
All right, let's keep going.
and entities.
Anybody else? He wants him to name like all of it, drag it all out on the record. This guy's guilty. I mean, you know, until from a legal perspective, unknown, but I mean, it seems like it to me.
You see the finder's fee agreement, Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Entered into what date?
It says effective as of August 1, 2023.
I'm sorry, what exhibit number is this?
Exhibit 9.
Thank you.
Okay, effective August 1, 2023, so 1 year ago as we sit here today, correct?
Oh, close to.
Yeah, and that's why they keep like pointing out that nothing is actually in the company's name. Everything is in like his personal name.
Today's August 1st.
Yeah, close to. 300.
Seems kind of fun.
1 year.
60.
Oh my
3
God,
days,
7
right?
hours
This
of
was
Stephen P. New.
effective. Dated September 8th, 2023, correct?
Dated September 8th, 2023.
All right. Who prepared this agreement? Podcast One or Cast?
I believe Live One's counsel prepared it.
All right. And if you turn over to page 2, share price means $8 per share of PC1 common stock, correct?
Share price. G. Share price means $8 per share of PC1 common stock.
All right. Compensation fees. Compensation. Company.
You on the next page?
Yep. Page 3 of the agreement. Success fee. Company agrees to pay Cast the adjusted success fee as defined below in shares
Success
of the
fee.
company's restricted common stock. I don't know how much that is. 1/10 millionth or whatever, 1/100,000th par value per share, and it goes on. You see that?
Yeah, I see this paragraph.
Now, halfway down through that, that talks about $1,392,000 worth of shares, the upfront shares to be issued by the company to Cast promptly after the effective
I
date
love
as
depositions.
prepayment of the adjusted success fee. Tell me what that is.
This looks to do with a settlement agreement that we made with Cap Chase for the balance of that line of credit that we still owed them.
Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm clear about that. Podcast One paid to Cap Chase $1.392 million on behalf of Cast Media, correct?
So
That's real cheap money.
1.392 would be worth of shares, so that would be at an $8 stock price, I believe. But Podcast One and Cab Chase have a deal, and it references it in here, but as to whether Podcast One has made that payment to Cab Chase, I don't know.
The payment was made on behalf of Cast Media, correct?
We entered into a settlement agreement with Cap Chase for the amount that we owed them, where they would receive a certain amount from Podcast One, as detailed here. Now, as to whether they received that or not, I don't have knowledge.
Colin Thompson's big mistake. Oh, thank you, Bob Brown. 3 months goes so fast with great Goose content. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Oh, you got the Ben and Grace on the struggle couch picture. I keep forgetting that those like rotate. Yeah, but thank you, Bob, for the 3 months. I appreciate it. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, Colin Thompson's mistake was that he actually did settle with a lot of the big podcasters so that he didn't have to, like, in theory, he wouldn't have to take on the, like, people that could afford to take him on. Like, he severely underestimated that, like, maybe a not so high profile, like, victim might be willing to pursue this for, like, personal vendetta.
Understand, I just want the record to be clear. This is evidence of Podcast One paying a debt that Cast Media owed, correct?
I don't think that that's an accurate phrasing.
Did, in September of 2023, Cast Media owe Cap Chase money on a line of credit?
Yes, prior to our settlement agreement, we owed them a certain amount of money.
How much?
I don't remember exactly.
Give me a ballpark.
Maybe 1.7 or something.
Okay. And you, Cast, settled with Cap Chase as evidenced by this agreement on page 3 of it, correct?
Yes, we settled with Cap Chase.
And so that took a significant amount of financial pressure off of Cast at that point. Would you agree with that?
The settlement contract with Cap Chase.
Oh no, is Thomas Wyatt catching up with my previous comment right now? This is like
and by extension, you personally,
Marty McFly. I'm trying to navigate this.
I would say all shareholders of Cast. All stakeholders.
Space-time continuum.
But not the podcast partners who were owed money.
No, all stakeholders.
How did you Cast paying off a line of credit with Cap Chase benefit your podcasting partners like Brian Last and Jim Cornette?
Well, they were offered a deal from Podcast One too.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that deal in just a moment. But you owed Brian.
Okay, Thomas Wyatt is now back to when Shawn Michaels was on screen. Okay.
Last and Jim Cornette, $250,000.
I don't think this message is going to reach him.
No, they let me finish my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cast owed Brian Last and Jim Cornette $250,000 as of September 2023.
ATF
and
Media was often invited to Jim
Cast
Cornette's
did,
hot tub
vis-a-vis
parties.
Podcast One or Cap Chase put a single red cent in Brian Last or Jim Cornette's pocket, correct?
I believe $250 to be the upper limit of the amount that we would owe them based on an audit of the downloads per episode.
Not my question.
Let him finish his answer.
Assuming...
Can you ask the part that you want the answer to?
Yeah. I'm going by the document you gave me. I'm going by your schedule,
Here we go.
So you can waffle it that it may not be $250, all that you want. You've sworn documents under penalty of perjury that what you owe my clients is $250,442.79. So I'm going to believe you when you signed a bankruptcy document saying that, okay? So I understand your qualifier.
Man,
from
Steven
earlier.
is fired up.
And my question to you is this. Assuming that the $250 and change is accurate as you've told the bankruptcy court that it is, nothing that you did with Cap Chase or Podcast One benefited my client in any way for the amount that you've told the bankruptcy court.
Even though it's Cornette.
Them, correct?
No, not correct.
I read it in Jimmy Hart's voice.
How did your deal with Cap Chase and Podcast One benefit my clients?
Cast made a deal with Podcast One. And you're referencing this part that includes Cap Chase, who had a significant, that Cast owed a significant amount of money to, and therefore relieving that debt put Cast and all of its stakeholders, including employees, partners, investors, creditors, in a better position to collect on what was owed to them.
In such a great position that 8 months later, you were in bankruptcy court seeking protection. Is that your testimony here today, Mr. Thompson? Is that this deal was so good for Cast, its podcast partners, and everybody else that 8 months later you ran to bankruptcy court for protection? Is that your testimony, sir?
Objection. Argumentative.
Is that your testimony?
What's your question?
My question is, your testimony was that this September 2023 deal was a great deal for Cast, for you, for your podcasting partners, for everybody. Let me finish my question. It was such a great deal.
He's going into Paul Bearer
so this
mode.
was such a great deal with Cap Chase and Podcast One that 8 months later you filed bankruptcy, right?
Are you ready for me to answer?
Yeah.
Okay. My testimony is that this deal with Podcast One and Cap Chase benefited Cast and all of Cast stakeholders.
Did you pay any podcast partners after this deal with Cap Chase and Podcast One? Monies that were owed to them?
I don't recall, but if we did, it was only as a final release payment with them.
He's pulling a Reagan. I don't recall. Oh, that silence at the end was nice. Yeah, because we normally see her being deposed for hours on end. I know the lawyer was really getting worked up. His voice was going up. Hey, now listen.
Liabilities. Accounts payable, $4,803,985.44. You see that?
Yes.
You going to be able to tell me where that $4,803,985.44 comes from?
That was owed to our vendors.
People like Brian Last and Jim Cornette, among others, correct?
Correct.
All right. So under credit cards,
Jim Cornette.
$24,090.90 owed as of January 31.
Dude, that video was fire, though, Gobbledygook. An all-time.
Yes.
And the only one that's on is Amex Delta Sky Miles Reserve Card 31001, correct?
Yes.
Is that a business credit card or a personal credit card?
That is a personal credit card.
Why is there a personal credit card with a balance of $24,090.90 listed on the balance sheet of Cast Media Inc. as a liability?
The company would pay my personal credit card. It would be separated into appropriate business expenses, and any personal expenses would be taken by myself as income.
Okay, let's break that down then.
Look at this guy.
So as I understand your testimony, anything that you charge on this Amex Delta Sky Miles Reserve card ending 31001, Cast Media Inc. would pay, correct?
I believe so.
And if there was a business charge on that for something legitimate, that would be taken as a legitimate business expense by your accountants, correct?
The business expenses would be classified appropriately as business expenses by the accountants.
And then anything that was charged of a personal nature was deemed income to you, correct?
Correct.
Placed on either a W-2 or a 1099, correct?
Man, I'm so high, this feels like it's life and death to me. I feel like we're watching like a fight for your life exchange.
There's an Amex business card,
Amex
42003. If Cast has legitimate business expenses that it needs to put on a business card, and you have legitimate personal expenses, why not keep the two separate?
Objection calls for speculation.
Why not keep the two separate, Mr. Thompson?
Same objection.
I don't know.
That's not the way you've ever run Cast Media Inc., is it?
What do you mean? What are
With
you
a
saying?
separate business credit card and you just taking draws and then paying your own credit card payments. That's not how you've ever run Cast, is it?
I don't understand the question.
All right. You've always had Cast Media Inc. pay your personal credit card bills and then divvy it up in the manner in which you just described, correct?
Our process was that the company would regularly pay my personal credit card bills. The transactions that were appropriate business transactions would be classified as such, and the personal expenses would be classified as income, would be taken as income on the 1099.
And my question is, from the time that Cast Media Inc. came into existence in April of 2020, that's how you've done it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that continues through today, correct?
No, since currently, right now we're paying me exclusively through payments. As I said, I'm a contractor at this point, and so I'm being paid as a contractor on a bi-weekly basis. And then any expenses that I incur on behalf of the business are reimbursed separately.
Any reason why you couldn't have done that from April of 2020 up to the point of Cast filing bankruptcy?
Objection calls for speculation.
We transitioned to that process.
That's not my question.
Oh, man.
The process that you're currently doing, you
This
could
guy's
have done
cooked.
from
Absolutely,
April of 2020 up to the point of March 2024 filing bankruptcy, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
You can answer.
I can't speculate about that.
That's funny. Every time she says speculation, you're going to say speculate today? Mr. Thompson, is that how it's going to work?
Objection. You're harassing the witness.
It's going to be a long day.
You're going to get your 7 hours.
Can we take a break?
Let's take a break.
Sure.
Woo! It's going to be a long day. All right, I think we got one more. Incredible, man. These are great. What's this one about? Oh, stock options or whatever. While podcasters won't be.
2023 is
Use a
when
sovereign
you
citizen
were
spell.
Also looking to enter into some type of an agreement with Podcast.
Like, even if you didn't know the story behind it, these are great, but especially if you know that the only reason this is happening is because of Jim Cornette, like, that makes it even wilder.
Correct?
Cast was, yes.
On May the 23rd, 2023, Live One announced that it had entered into a letter of intent to acquire
He could just say he
certain
doesn't
assets
recognize the court's
of
authority.
Cast Media. Did that go through?
He doesn't pay taxes in this community.
Eventually, the deal with Podcast One did get signed.
And what kind of deal was that?
It's a finder's fee structure. We provided the contract to you.
What assets of Cast Media did Live One obtain?
Certain shows that made the decision to take a deal with Podcast One and to move their show over to Podcast One.
Do you recall which shows those were?
Well, I don't have the list in front of me.
As of the date of the filing of bankruptcy, March 13 of 2024, did Cast Media Inc. owe Podcast One or Live One any money?
As of the date of the petition, did Cast owe Podcast One or Live One any money? No, I don't believe so.
All right. Now, the arrangement that you described to me earlier, you said Podcast One distributes the 3 O&Os, correct?
Yes.
And then you have the 70-30, 70-30, and 50-50 splits on the 3 O&O podcasts, correct?
Yes.
Why is that arrangement with Podcast One advantageous to Cast Media?
This really hits after chain smoking for 3 hours.
We went through a pretty rigorous due diligence process with them in regards to being our distribution or monetization partner. As I'm sure you understand,
monetization,
Cast has spent
Canadian?
6 or 7 years on the other end side of that fence, so we know how to kick the tires. We know how to find a good partnership. And we believed them to be the best option for Cast in the deal that they made with us.
B, 278,400 of the upfront shares equivalent to 34,800 shares shall be issued in the name of the escrow agent and deposited with the escrow agent pursuant to the terms of the escrow agreement. You see that?
Are you still on 0007?
Like, Stephen P. New is basically casting an exhaustion spell on Colin Thompson.
Yep.
Yeah, B, 278,400 of the upfront shares, equivalent to 34,800 shares, shall be issued in the name of the escrow agent and deposited with the escrow agent.
And that's Cast's, right?
I believe that this is the amount. Yeah, I believe that this would be.
That's Cast's.
That this would be Cast once the escrow, once it comes out of escrow.
Go to your bankruptcy petition, sir.
Just flipping through the pages is breaking this guy down at this point.
Show me where in your bankruptcy petition that you list these 34,800 shares worth $278,400 as an asset of Cast Media, Inc.
What's the question?
Show me where in your bankruptcy petition you list 34,800 shares worth $278,400 as an asset of Cast Media.
You want me to go through it?
Yep.
Okay.
Take all the time that you want, and you tell me the page.
Well, I believe that they may not be in here.
Okay. I've looked, and I can't find where you listed these shares of stock worth $278,400 as an asset. Do you know why they were omitted?
I don't know why they were omitted, but obviously I think probably because the valuation of them would be rather tricky to come up with because they're not liquid and the stock price is fluid.
Well, this deal tells us it's 34,800 shares, $278,400. Right?
Pink
That would be
cocaine.
if the stock were priced at $8 a share.
Okay.
But of course, as you know, because we provided you with the escrow agreement, they're subject to, I believe,
Imagine getting Ben and Grace under oath like this.
2-year lockup provisions, and nobody has any idea what the price of the stock is going to be 2 years after that date.
We'll get there. But whatever it is,
We'll get there. Look at his face.
Of the stock. You didn't even list the number of shares, did you?
Oh my God.
Regardless of the price of it, you didn't.
I don't see the shares listed on this form.
Okay.
But I haven't looked for them, but I believe that they're not there.
Okay. And those shares are deposited with an escrow agent, correct?
I believe that's what the contract states. I never followed up to make sure that they were deposited.
The ultimate struggle session, yes.
I just want to
Under
make sure
oath.
that I understand, though. There was never an acquisition of cast assets by Podcast One, correct?
Ben Thorpe deposition. You think he'd agree to one? You think he'd let me depose him?
Labeling the deal a finder's fee deal instead.
Not an asset purchase agreement, correct?
They ended up labeling it a finder's fee deal.
Did Podcast One or Live One ever say they didn't want your name associated with their company?
I'm not sure exactly what the crime or what the civil issue was, like technically, but it basically amounts to the fact that Colin Thompson paid some of the podcasters and gave them a golden parachute out of it alongside him, and he left a bunch of other, though, podcasters out to dry, and most of them couldn't afford to do this, but it just so happened that Cornette and Brian Last wanted to pursue it. So I think the issue became that they didn't even try to compensate most of the people at all as the company fell apart. Now he's got a new podcast company, and he says that this is going to be like the most transparent company ever, he says.
Companies? Or that you weren't allowed to tell people that you
spent 7 years
were
doing
associated
depositions.
with
Wow.
Live One or Podcast One?
No, they didn't say that.
And
I think
don't
Ben
know if
would
I have
trust
an
me
extra copy of
to
this. I'll get you
depose
my
him.
copy if you want to see it. We don't have to attach it as an exhibit. The lockup agreement, I'll show you.
And then also someone was saying that and I think this was brought up on the podcast too, but somebody reminded me here of that. I think they're trying to use this civil deposition to be able to prove that he was personally benefiting and that the company assets were going to him, never going to the company. So maybe that would open up a different avenue of going after him legally, you know?
It says all of this discussion that we've been having about these shares,
the only people in the lawsuit is Jim Cornette and Brian Last, the business partners from the Jim Cornette podcasts.
Value in
Hey, Doug.
Podcast One.
A deposition on Courtney. Oh wow.
It's locked down until September of 2025, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's generally what
that just turned into a Memphis type scene.
What does your bankruptcy plan say about Cast's intentions with respect to the lockdown and the assets that will be locked down until September 2025? Does it speak to it at all?
No.
All right.
Ben was going in on distinction. Wow.
Does the name Foley Schechter Ablavitsky LLP sound familiar to you as the escrow agent of the 34,800 shares of common stock?
The name sounds familiar to me.
All right. And just so that the record is clear, the stock, we keep kind of using terms interchangeably here, Podcast One, Live One,
ask Ben,
etc.
Ask Ben who he would trust to do a candid deposition.
The shares of stock are in Courtside Group Inc., correct?
Yes.
No showbiz, all substance. Maybe EFD?
mentioned earlier that Cast's been on the other side of the deal, like the one that you've got with Podcast One now, right? Remember your kicking
No, I
the
didn't see
tires
that.
analogy you gave? We know how to
I
kick
was
the
watching a
tires.
bunch of movies yesterday.
Cast was a distributor and a monetizer of with an in-house sales team of podcasts for a number
I
of
saw
years.
they had Patience on
When does Podcast
at some
One
point when I checked in.
owe Cast money?
You have the
Or
contract.
no, Joe Shabatoni posted a clip of Ben and
I
Patience.
think it's net 60, isn't it? I flagged it. Revenue split.
Discloses
I'll show
height.
it to you. Podcaster will in aggregate receive.
I don't think I can put him under a legal oath, but we can let him know that like XP will be really mad at him if he doesn't tell the truth.
70% podcaster share of 100% of the gross revenue, with the remainder to be paid retained by company. Company agrees to pay podcaster share for outstanding receivables 60 days after invoicing the applicable advertising clients and or sponsors for said receivables. Since you entered into this agreement on November the 14th of 2023, has Podcast One failed to pay you? Had to pay Cast?
Have they failed to pay Cast?
Yes.
They haven't failed to pay Cast.
Okay. Like you failed to pay Brian Last and Jim Cornette to the tune of $250,000, right?
What's the question?
Objection, argumentative.
My question is,
So it's
Podcast
over.
One
It's
has not done to.
So this is over $250,000 is what Cornette and Last are owed.
Cast. What Cast did to Arcadian Vanguard and Jim Cornette.
Objection.
Oh, that would be
Objection. Relevant
incredible
argumentative
footage.
badgering.
So the question is, has Podcast One met its payment obligations with Cast?
Yes.
Yeah, they have.
And you acknowledge.
I believe so.
You acknowledge that Cast did not meet its payment obligations to Brian Last, Arcadian Vanguard, and Jim Cornette.
Correct.
Well, Robot Glock, what is there to prove? Like, is there even a debate? They live together, they shop together, they eat together, they smoke together, of course, now if you're talking about does the money just funnel into a Ben Thorpe, a sovereign wealth fund, I don't think that's true. But does the money support and go to Ben in ways? Of course, we see it on the screen. I mean, that's just, I don't even think people can argue that. Hey, Ember. All right, that's all that's up so far. If there's ever any more, we can pick them up in piecemeal as we go, but thank you for hanging out, watching Old School Wrestling. Hopefully this deposition was entertaining. I thought it was like the best place to put it, since if you like Memphis, maybe you like Cornette, since this is like, Cornette adjacent or whatever. Goes directly to their Best Buy line of credit. I have the video somewhere of them getting denied the credit card at Cabela's. But I forgot to post it, and then I don't know what happened to it. I think it's on the computer that got messed up. Anyway, though, thanks for hanging out. I'll be here tomorrow for Boyd Watch. It's gonna be an absolutely stacked episode. It's a difficult one. I'm having to make some tough cuts in it, but hopefully it'll work out all right. Anyway, though, thank you for watching. I appreciate it.